Hello, everyone, and welcome to Rep RPG's Bloody Tuesday, where we do Vampire the Masquerade 5th Edition live play set in New Orleans, Louisiana, called Blood in the Bayou. We were just talking about how we're going to take it to space, and everybody wanted to ditch the conversation. USS New Orleans, Blood in the Bayou. We're going to do it. There's a ton of things. If Vampire the Masquerade, if you're tuning in tonight on Twitch, Vampire the Masquerade isn't your thing, how about D&D? How about any of the other indie forms of TTRPG stuff we do? Tell you guys a little bit more about that is Pixie.
Fuck, I'm never prepared. Listen, it used to be Matthew, and Matthew is next in line, so my brain still goes, it should be Matthew, pitching us as a channel. And Norse Foundry. Like, just roll it all together, lump it all in, it's fine. Hi, hello, but speaking of dice and the channel, I'm gonna get both in there. We, are currently transitioning away from the typical Wizards of the Coast D&D because Wizards continues to prove that they're fucking evil and lazy. And all the things. Their statement about, well, we didn't know it was AI. My guys, you hired a publicly pro AI, pro NFT tech bro, and you didn't double check his work. Like, fucking vet people. Anyway, but speaking of which, our main D&D 5e campaign right now, and while it does use the Wizards rule set, because it's been around forever, all of our classes and races and stuff is all indie and third-party creators who are using the 5e system to make their own stuff, which is great. That is our Altensia game on Friday nights. It's a lot of fun. And we are going soon, next Monday, I believe, we're finally jumping back into Endless Wonder, which is our Warehouse 13 inspired campaign that is my first ever time DMing long term, and I've missed it and I love it. And that uses the ultra modern system, which is a reskin of 5e, but its own thing and has its own rules and its own magic and cool shit. And I love it. But speaking of dice and things that we do on this channel as well, Cody and I make dice, and we are about to start branching out into two very specific things. One, we are going to start making custom Vampire the Masquerade sets for all of you with those D10s and percentile, or just D10s, just 10 D10s. Half of them will be a hunger dice style, half of them will be a non-hunger dice style. What that means for you though is if you give us custom orders, we will essentially work with you to build your own vibe, your own vampire vibe. But Cody was testing his own styles with these blood and bone sets that he made.
That's really cool.
Right.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So those are a lot of fun. I know. Those are a lot of fun. So yeah, they're great. He's trying a couple.
They're just like me for real.
There you go. They're trying a couple. He's trying a couple other blood and bone styles this week. So keep an eye on the shop because we are going to be selling those. But in addition, speaking of expanding our shop into vampire specific dice, we are also going to be listing dice sets and found family sets and special pours for other systems. Here's a set for Cypher. Here's a set for Shadowrun. Here's a, we know there's so many other dice out there. So if you have an idea or like a dice type or style or set you would like to see more of for a game you play, let us know. And we'll look into listing those on the shop. We have some more fun stuff coming there this week. That's going to be the only way we make rent because summer peak is over and therefore I won't get scheduled for the next 3 months. So this is my job now. Dice. That's it. That's what I got. That's what I have to offer. Next.
I like it. So there's, when you have the found family sites for regular tabletop game, or this is going to be the found coterie dice?
I mean, well,
the coterie dice?
I mean, yeah, except for that we are genuinely we have a special mold of just D10s coming. So they're all going to match. And then we are hopefully eventually going to be able to upgrade to vampire branded dice as well for that, but we have to make enough with this that we can justify that purchase. Which it's going to be a while because that's an expensive process. But yeah, so that'll be fun.
If you guys ever get a chance to come out and see us at your local conventions, one of the best things you can do is get the found family, like I call it experience, where it's like you actually sit up like, okay, my paladin has these color sets, but he's a green dragonborn. And
I take notes and then I just go crazy building you a set.
And I have never seen anybody go, you know what? I don't like this set and walk away.
Never, not once actually. Yeah.
a few dice changes here and there. But like, actually, can we get another one like this? And
Yeah.
they're like, yeah, fine, we'll just put another one in there.
It's my favorite thing.
So don't forget about
Yeah, I
your
was gonna say Voodoo
coterie.
loves it. Voodoo loves.
Yeah.
She will announce it from the booth. It's time to play Trust the Process. Like she will just shout it to the whole MegaCon floor, and it makes
Yeah.
me smile, and I just like get super hyper focused. Like.
Yep. So when you get a chance to do some customization with your favorite small time creators, your favorite indie creators, go through the process. Go through that with them. Don't think that you are going to upset them when you talk about, oh, I would really like another red one, but I don't want to tell her. No, just say you want another red one. But tonight we're gonna have a whole bunch of other customization. Pixie, who are you playing tonight, though?
Why is it me again? It's not my turn!
Because you didn't introduce yourself.
God fucking damn it. Hi, I'm Pixie. I'm playing Siren. She's a daughter of the cacophony, masking as a Toreador, and she's traumatized.
A little bit. All right. So Matthew, who are you and who you be playing tonight?
Hi, I'm Matthew. I'm here on Rep RPG, and tonight I'll be playing Jace Campbell, your resident witchy boy. That's it.
I like it.
Thank you.
Meg, who are you and who you gonna be playing tonight?
Hi, I'm what happens when you let your chia pet grow for too long, Meg. And I'm playing Gem, the Malkavian. Yes.
I feel like that's an SCP somewhere. Is the overgrown chia pet?
Probably.
Did you ever wonder
It
what
is now.
it is now. And then Hecate, who are you and who are you gonna be playing tonight?
Hi, Hecate or Cat or whatever you want to call me. I answer to a lot of things. I'm over here on Rep RPG. I'm also over on Indigo Chameleon where I play D&D and Vampire the Masquerade over there as well. And I am playing a character who looks like every grunge Tumblr girl in existence, but also is really pushing how far she can get with her religious exemption. Liz.
I took myself off mute just when you did that, and that giggle that I had, because you're not wrong. You're not
I am
wrong.
playing a resident gang girl, Scourge New Orleans, a lot of other things. She's actually thriving. Like I'm saying, like she's doing her best, but she's actually pretty much thriving right now. She built a house. She got rid of her friend's ex-boyfriend. She's what everyone wants. It's fine.
And I'm Sway Spooky. I'll be your storyteller tonight, which means that I have to corral the kittens that are bloodthirsty for a variety of reasons and for different tastes. Tonight we're going to be doing a little bit of a time skip. Last we left off, we had a little side story with the ghoul friends, and tonight we're going to be finding out what the characters want to do moving forward. Start off small so we can kind of figure out, well, for the next 6 months, we don't know if we're going to get there based off of everybody else's stuff. So kind of point me in your individual directions and we will see where you guys end up. So Matthew, where would you like Jace to spend his time, money, and endeavors?
Yeah, so his money, coffee. Jay spends all of his money on coffee, even in Unlife. No, so so Jace is spending a lot of his time at home, actually. He is doing some of his own magic research that he's not really talking to other Tremere about. Nothing crazy. Yeah. And then as far as his ghouls, because he now has some new ghouls that are actually useful, he is he's gonna be having them get a little bit of money for us,
Okay.
so that he can spend more of it on coffee.
So that's Sarah, right?
So Samantha, Eli,
the fun one.
yeah, Eli Abbott's personal assistant. I'm gonna just encourage that she scam as many old men as she can.
Okay.
Including Eli Abbott.
Okay. So we'll start with the first thing you said. Now,
Mhm.
you don't have to tell any Tremere. You don't have to tell Iris. You
Yeah.
don't have to whoever the primogen in line might be. You don't have to
Iris.
tell Iris. You don't have to tell nobody nothing, but you do have to tell me.
I
Now, I understand
do.
if you don't want to tell the coterie,
No, the
but
coterie can
we're pretty
know.
good about metagaming when it's important and fun, and not
Yeah.
metagaming when it's
Yeah. So ages ago,
uh-huh.
there was some magic cast on all of us on our rooftop.
Yeah.
And Jace and Iris had done a little bit of testing, and they had
Mhm.
found they had figured out a baby prototype. And then Iris had told Jace that promised that he wouldn't do any more of it. And so he's
Okay.
doing more of it.
So I'm going to tell you this with the what you and Iris started working on, you can't seem to replicate what was used on the roof. The ability to be like almost painted on and then dissolve or be
Mhm.
invisible. You can replicate it on a small basis, but it needs to be etched. There's no way to make it invisible. Um
That's fine. The thing that Jace is trying to get down
mhm,
is first he's trying to solidify his confidence in the spell that he is creating to amplify abilities. And then he's also trying to see if he can scale it down to almost have a personal little booster pack.
Okay, so this is what I was talking about. It's like you can't figure out how to do it on a room, but you can do it on a much smaller basis. Unfortunately, you can't make it invisible, but
That's fine.
you can etch something into it and be almost, oh man, like half dollar sized little micro booster.
That's even smaller than I was hoping for, so that's
Yeah.
perfect. Um
Yeah.
yeah, so he's a lot of his time is spent originally it's going to be spent kind of in his apartment.
Hmm.
And he is his floors, the girls anytime they've come over have kind of noticed that sections of his flooring, because he is lucky enough to have wood paneling in his
Hmm.
floors, sections of it look like they've been really sanded, because he is carving into the floor to figure out how to do it, and then when he's done with it he's sanding it away, um,
Okay.
and rinse and repeating until he thinks that he has finalized a spell.
Okay. It will take you the the vitae worth to do this. Um it would take 5 dots of hunger, so one person. It
Okay.
will last for one scene ish. So, and then the cost of that vitae will be expended. So it's not
Okay.
something that you can put on and wear and now you're Superman until you take it off. It's
Hmm.
a I can activate this and become Superman for a little bit.
Hmm. Yeah.
Be immortals, just not for very long.
Okay. Okay, gotcha. Um, and in my testing, am I able to use bagged blood for this, or does it have to be fresh?
What do you start with?
He would have bagged blood first. Would have
Okay.
been one of his first attempts when he realizes how much it is.
Um, you get using bagged blood, you get a heightened senses effect.
Mm.
Um, on the point of like, what was that movie? Perfume.
Oh yeah,
Like you
Jace's
get
favorite movie.
so, but the issue with it is for you as a kindred who already have a heightened sense of smell, everything becomes overpowering. Roll me a intelligence awareness.
Oh Lord. Okay. 4 successes.
Okay. With 4 successes.
A crit on my hunger die.
Okay. With a crit on your hunger die, you struggle to even activate this amulet that you've made. It's like walking into a sauna that has been set too hot for your own comfort. It is like shoving garlic into your nostrils. It is like having music turned to 12 in your ears all at the same time. And then
Okay.
the beast inside of you will snatch it off.
Okay.
But when that first happened, Samantha was nearby.
Oh no. Okay.
And while trying to rush to your aid, she grabbed what you threw, what you worked on, what you put all this work into. That she's not just going to let you throw your work away. She's seen you rip something up, throw it away, and then you go back to it. And she's not going to have you just break something. And when she grabs it, when you see her, it's like she's getting hit with senses, but in a good way. You realize that while bagged blood gave you something that was too powerful for you to control,
Mm-hmm.
it heightened things to the point of lack of concentration. It did heighten the ghoul's senses. And with a little bit of communication and conversation, you realize that her having that gives her the senses that you possess
Interesting.
to the
Okay.
level of you currently.
Okay. Sick. Okay. If he has time before our time skip is done, he will get Oscar to go get somebody, and he will use a human, like a live human,
Okay.
all 5 dots, just
Yep.
murk him.
You
And
do you tell him what to find, or do you let that be his prerogative? He asked. Do you have something specific in mind?
I want him to
Fill in error.
yeah, right. I'll have him troll Craigslist ads to find something that seems really sketchy.
Okay.
And then upon arrival of the Craigslist ad, do what he needs to if it seems like it's actually sketchy, do what he needs to do and bring him back.
Bring him back to your place and kill him at the apartment. Okay.
I mean, I'll do the killing.
Okay.
They're gonna come
that
back,
was
and
my
I'm just
question.
gonna.
Okay. So he goes out hunting. The first time that he's had any sense of control over his own being. And then your night continues. And you have a feeling of when he'll be home. You know, it doesn't take forever to go do this. He's back relatively quickly, surprisingly quick for an endeavor. And he brings he just opens the apartment door, and in walks Oscar, who, you know, he's wearing like just a kind of like just kind of like a basic hoodie and some just regular jeans, and would look himself like he was the sketchy person to show up. There's a hauntedness in Oscar. And when Oscar comes in, that hauntedness that you have seen in his face since the night you made him a ghoul, since the days that you spent making him a ghoul, that's immediately gone. Roll me a let me what would be the best thing for this? It was not loading your character sheet at all.
It's because Jace is unknowable.
It's very, very much so.
He is an enigma to us all.
Just like women are an
Um,
enigma to him, he's an enigma to all of you.
roll me a wits. Now, I was going to tell you wits subterfuge, but you don't have anything in subterfuge. So just go
Nope.
ahead and roll me a wits.
Not a wits insight?
No, no, it's not him trying to
Alright.
figure out what your
Okay,
taste.
you got it. I need to replace one of those with a 100 die. Come on. 4 dice. 2 successes.
Okay.
No crit fails, no crit successes, just 2
You
regular successes.
you feel this internal fear is probably the closest emotion.
Okay.
The face that he has is the face that you looked at when you guys were happy. That flirty. And there's something that you now know looking at the face that he has walking in with this person he is knowingly about to have killed.
Mm-hmm.
Is the same face that you thought was kindness and sincerity that was really just manipulation and abuse before. And you put that together now where you didn't before, because you thought you broke him, and there's that face is now right there again.
Every day Oscar gets closer and closer to death.
One day, finally.
I don't know. Now I have a new thing to deal with, which is good, I guess.
I mean, hey,
okay,
now
who
there's two
did-
bodies and one's a ghoul that you could use for this.
Yeah, who did
So in walks in a man. He is wearing a blue baseball cap.
okay.
He's wearing a blue windbreaker, a very thin, cheap windbreaker, like a dark navy blue, khaki pants, and like a leathery, clothy set of boots. You get the impression they're military boots. They look
Alright.
like the old, the times you've been around the homeless here in New Orleans. There's enough vets that still have their old pair of boots from Afghanistan and Iraq, the local conflicts.
Okay. Gotcha. I will let Oscar close the door. And then I will just kind of walk over and
Hey, so I wasn't thinking two today.
I
That's gonna up
just
the cost.
you know what? That'll be okay. We'll deal with that later. And then I walk up to him and I snap his neck.
Oh, okay.
And then
That
I
solves the problem now. There's only
and-
two to begin with.
and then I drain his blood for my spell.
Okay. When you test it out, it's a disc about this size, like this size, and then you have to essentially boil with a set of herbs, boil this blood down and down and down until it's almost completely dried out into a powder.
What the fuck is your computer
What is
doing?
that?
I just noticed that.
Magic.
It's the blood syrup.
It's the blood syrup.
Ah! Matthew, you're
It was,
fired.
it was Streamloots
Yeah,
telling me
I'm
that it
playing
was
the
either
wrong
activating.
clan.
It's it's been a long time coming, Pixie.
The until it's almost like you get it down to the syrup, and you still have to it's not there yet. You don't
Okay.
know exactly what it is, but it's not there yet. There's a sound coming from the bedroom while this process is going on. Are you going to continue to watch this, or it almost sounds like a fight is going on in your bedroom? You hear the slaps and the muffled sounds, like the muffled voice.
Someone's getting it on in there.
Is the dead body still in my living room, or is the dead body in the bedroom?
You look, and the exsanguinated corpse is no longer on the floor in your bed, in your living room. Do you continue to watch the pot boil, or do you go check in and see what's going on?
I'm going to call back towards my bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna say, Oscar, if you're fucking that dead body, stop. And if you're fighting it, stop. That's even weirder.
The sounds continue, with no recollection or confirmation you said anything.
Okay. Do I've had Oscar for a while. Do I know
It's the weirdest way to talk about a pet ever. I've had him for a while.
Matthew is unversed with exactly how exerting your control over ghouls works when they are your own ghoul. Would Jace need to go over there and repeat himself, or is there some like force of
If there's a mystical force that compels
well,
him,
like his like force of personality to where he can call out again and be like being serious this time and using
you gotta use your dad
kindred
voice.
power. Yeah, like use his dad voice.
You get the impression that you've done what you can. It's either that's not what's happening, or he can't hear you, or he is being compelled in another way that overrules yours. Like there's only a few ways that a ghoul could not listen to what you said at this point with your ghouling process with him.
Gotcha.
Like if he heard you, he has to follow you.
Okay. This spell is more important than Oscar being weird. So I'm gonna keep with the boiling blood,
Okay.
and then Oscar will be dealt with later.
As you're talking to Oscar and trying to figure out like, okay, I'm gonna use my dad voice. Get your ass in here, stop your shit. You feel like you almost got it, and you just like you hear that like meat slapping sound, and you look with like this anger, and when you look back, the pot has boiled the syrup down to almost like a crystalline powder. Like it's glittery blood powder is what it looks like. So crystalline is probably not the right word because it's not crystals.
Mm-hmm.
But like you're trying to blow off the bubbles from the top of the blood ramen here. And when that happens, when you blow away the bubbles and it comes up, you blow it away. What you're left is this powder that has been mixed with this herb, these herbs that you've used. Could work.
Hell yeah. What a better time to test it than whenever I'm angry at Oscar. So
Fair enough.
I continue, and then
Okay, so it's almost like this inking slash fingerprint powdering process to smush this powder into the edges of this amulet and get it to stay there, and it leaves this it almost looks like it's a wax at this point with the heat of your fingers, well, the friction of your fingers rubbing, not really the heat of your undead cold fingers.
valid.
It looks like a Norse slash other forms of paganry sigil disc with like a red wax seal.
You all broke voodoo, by the way.
Blood
Yeah.
ramen.
She
Poor
was
Voodoo
eating
was
ramen.
eating ramen.
She was eating
Oh, no.
ramen, and she stopped, and she likes horror. So, you know,
I am
you fucked up, y'all, when you broke one of the spooky bitches.
Sorry, Viv.
Ah!
You feel like there needs to be a rousing of the blood, but not yours. You feel like you need to go through that kind of process to use it. You need to activate the amulet, essentially.
All right.
Which basically, you just tell the storyteller, I'm activating my super bracelet.
Oh,
And
okay.
we're going to become friends. Yeah. Friendship bracelet. Power super friends.
I mean, I need to know what it does so that I can use it more reliably later. So I'm going to activate my friendship bracelet.
Okay.
And maybe tonight is Oscar's last night.
Romeo willpower.
All right. I'm decent at that. Beep. One of those out of the box. Okay. That's not good. That's a net 1 success because I one success, a crit success, and then a crit fail.
Was the crit fail on a hunger dice?
No, because willpower doesn't get hunger dice.
That's true.
I thought.
That's true.
So.
Sorry.
Oh, you're good.
So much like the night that this magic was used for the first time of your awareness, you feel this overwhelming sense of it's almost like those stupid military commercials you saw growing up where you get this sense of like, be all you can be. It's the go do big things. You have all this power. Use it. And you feel energized. You feel like you can almost feel the blood pumping in your body again without the blush of life, where it's just you feel that surge throughout your body again. In a lot of ways, you do feel alive. Your senses are heightened, but not overwhelmingly. You feel faster. You feel stronger. You feel like this was what you were looking for. It's time to test it out.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna go yell at Oscar for a little bit. Is he punching the dead body or is he fucking it?
So that's your intention. We're gonna go yell at Oscar. And you start walking down the hall. You hear those sounds. Before you can get down the hall and you know whatever you see you're not gonna like, and it's in your fucking room. A rise in you that you haven't really felt before. You feel like the last time that you walked down this hall for Oscar, you were in control. You were the beast. The monster that he thought he could be. He doesn't understand. And that bestial monster that lives inside of you. When you walk down that hall, you realize, I'm not in control.
Okay.
When you wake up,
Oh no.
would you like me to describe what you see?
Sure.
This is
Or
all
we can go to
because
somebody else.
this is all because he supported the Dark Urge background in Baldur's Gate 3 and like defended it, and Sway was like, "Great, gonna give it to you." All right, like
That's fine. Again, I made my choices.
I made it. He got a roll for the willpower though, didn't he? Didn't he?
I made my choices. I decided to play the evil character, so I murder things. That's how it works.
You don't know how much time has passed. All over your apartment
Oh no.
are rituals, sigils, magical formulae written in the viscera of Oscar, the skin of his body, adding places for ink of his blood, of your notes. There are footprints. What looks like sneakers, maybe a set of heels. Different sets of footprints all along your floor. Roll me a wits awareness.
If I just killed these girls, I'm gonna be
No.
so mad.
Roll me a wits awareness.
Okay.
Or any investigative skills you would like to.
How hungry am I currently? Because
You're
it's
not.
obvious I'm okay. Wait, so like zero
There is
hunger?
none. There is 0 hunger in you right now.
Jesus Christ. Okay. That's even more worrisome than the rest of it. God damn these dice. 2 successes.
It wasn't a difficult thing.
Okay, good.
While there appears to be different shoes, as in this is a set of heels, this is a set of sneakers, this is like some dress shoes, but the heel is too small, so probably made for a woman. They're all one of 2 sizes. So it's always one of 2 people. That leads you to believe that it's Sarah and Samantha.
Samantha, yep.
As you look around, there are no extra bodies. There's no signs that they have expired. But they have been there. And a period of time, because you see overlapping layers of footprints through your blood sigils.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes you wonder how many days you've been at this.
Okay.
Or nights, should I say.
Okay.
How many increments of time?
Gotcha. And yeah, his next step is going to be, and we can skip to the next person so that I'm not taking up all night, but his next step is going to be to do the night after binge drinking thing and look at his phone and see what text messages he's sent that he doesn't remember.
Also, no offense, I
that's-
think I speak for all of us when I say, no, please take your time. We're
No,
fascinated.
no.
It's
I
fine.
know,
You coward!
We're
I know
okay.
this is an excuse.
There's
You
time.
fucking sit in this.
We could all singularly have an entire hour and still end earlier than we have ended some nights. So you're
Valid.
fine. And also,
But me passing that time.
I took 40 minutes last week, so I don't need time tonight. Y'all go.
No.
But that was me kind of giving you the exit because it was the multiple what looked like nights of them or
Yeah.
days of them coming in.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, like the camera will see him. Actually, we'll see him like sit down in the room with all of the viscera, and he. Let me roll a humanity check.
You really are living your best fucking Tevinter life, aren't you?
He's unsure yet.
Blood mage is best mage.
Amplify the blood mage.
Oof. Okay,
Oblivion.
that is -1 successes on that
Okay.
humanity die roll. So he
What was your
Get new
roll?
dice.
So I rolled 2 1s, an 8 and a 3 and a 5.
Tell
But
me
I
for
was
what?
I was seeing if he was going to start crying or not.
Oh.
Because this is one of the first times that he has like really been forced to see the type of monster that he can be.
Yeah.
Because a lot of his other stuff has been like he felt justified with Oscar, right? Any other killing that he has done, which I think is actually just the person that he made blood syrup from, was quick and like for a purpose, and this was and there's like a little bit of shame in the like I did a thing and went too far and was not in control, and a lot of his thing has been being a person in control of what is happening. So I think the camera doesn't see him cry or anything, but the camera will see him sit and just kind of stare off and reach for his phone and then put it down. Reach for it, put it down, and then tentatively grab it to see what the date is and
Okay.
how long he was in a stupor.
So let's find out. Now, we, without doing metagaming, understand that Jace has been off the market for a couple days at least. So if you had anything you wanted to do with him, it would probably be best to wait afterwards. If you wanted
mean
to
we
come
don't
check
interrupt
in
this
on
by just storming in and becoming part of the blood ritual by accident? All right.
Ooh.
I'm going to leave that up to you guys if you want to check on Jace or not.
And then roll new
at any point.
characters, sure.
He does this a lot. He just goes radio silent.
I mean,
That's actually
you guys
fair.
have-
Usually let
Like,
us know though.
yeah.
I
He's
would
usually
say
like,
that
hey, I'm gonna be gone for a few days, and they're like, okay. He doesn't just disappear.
he would not have had the chance to let you guys know that he might be going offline for a bit. But
And
depending
also
on-
this specific spell was a ritual that he was keeping secret from everybody. Mostly because he doesn't want them to tell him no so that they can't get mad at him when he does it anyway.
it's
Because
not
we
that
have
way to
super
look at
healthy
it.
communication skills in this code, right?
Mom and dad
Yeah.
can't get mad at me if they don't know
They
that
don't
it's
know.
happening.
They didn't know it's
Bullshit.
not out.
Yes,
Did I
they
sneak
can.
out?
Yes, they can. They're
Yeah,
mad at me all the
what
fucking
kind
time.
of fucking parents did you have? Like, oh, well, we didn't
That's
know,
not
sweetie,
how it-
so it's fine.
Camille has never
That's
been
not
mad
how
at
it
you.
worked
What are
at
you
home.
talking about? Camille has never been mad at you.
Because Lucy is controlling his medication. Like,
In a variety of
Well,
ways.
yeah.
But Lucy's
no,
never
no,
been mad
these
at
are
you.
my mom and dad.
Oh, fair. Okay. I thought you were talking about
We're
I was
all
like, "You're
each
never
other's
wrong."
mom and dads.
No,
It's not
Oh.
a, it's,
that's because Camilla doesn't
I
know what's
refuse.
going
I
on.
am the vodka on.
I was about to say, it's not a polycule, it's a fucked up family reunion. Like, it's, you know...
Could be a polycule. No.
So who has in mind what they want to do? I don't want to put anybody on the spot who's still kind of thinking. Okay. So what is Meg going to be up to?
I had 2 conversations that I wanted to have.
Okay.
I think the easiest one to do first is she's gonna send oh god, what the fuck's his name? Vegas a text asking when is at his convenience she can come by the strip club so that they can have a chat. It's not about puppies. Winky
Okay.
face.
Okay. It appears like he gets the drift.
Okay.
That he is pretty much open. Like you can just walk in whenever. Like you're not just.
Okay.
If they try to get you to pay a cover, just tell them no.
Oh, no.
And I'm here to see Vegas in the back.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Oh, no.
everybody's enough like familiar enough. You realize that the ghouls are kind of familiar enough with your faces. Because you're the hounds, and if they show up to do what you all say.
I also think Jem just kind of goes to the strip club sometimes. Because, you know,
Yeah.
titties
You gotta
make you calm
support-
down.
You got to support small businesses. So
That is true. That is also true. Yeah.
So you show up.
Mm-hmm.
The bouncer outside, which looks like a wider version of Vegas, well cut, or well polished, well cut dress suit outside of a New Orleans strip club.
Mm-hmm.
But he's trying to. You can tell that the clubs that Vegas have opened lately, they do take care of it on the outside and the people on the inside. So it's probably the best looking strip clubs you could find in New Orleans.
Yeah, they classy as
Um,
hell.
Yeah, and the customers pay a premium, and that premium is directly given over to the majority of the entertainers. Vegas does take his pretty steep cut because he is the businessman.
Yeah.
Um, but he's actually walking back. When you come in, you see him walking away from the bar, glass in hand. Um, doesn't seem like he recognized that you were coming in.
She's gonna grab a. She's actually just gonna stare at the bar for a minute. And she's like, "Yeah, I'd like to get a. Oh wait, fuck. What should I get for this conversation?"
At this point, Vegas has now heard you and walked back towards you. He did kind of like a spin as you're talking to the bartender, and he goes, "Whatever she'd like, she gets it for free. So what do you want?"
Thank you. I would like a very large tequila, please.
And so, this very gorgeous woman dressed in kind of not a cowboy outfit, but very much like a rural Hooters slash not Hooters. What is that? What is that
Twin
movie?
Peaks. There's a place here
No.
called Twin Peaks where they wear
Coyote,
flannel.
Coyote
Yeah.
Ugly.
Yeah.
Coyote Ugly.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Very much
90s
Coyote.
cowgirl.
Yeah. Very. But like it fits her. It looks good. Like it's not. It's doing its job for a strip club entertainer.
It's like
but
it's like the Barbie cowgirl outfit.
kind of, but way more comfortable. She just turns around and hands you like a bottle of Tito's.
That's vodka.
Tito's isn't tequila?
No.
What am I thinking of? That's the cheap tequila. Anyway, whatever. She turns around and pulls you a bottle of a Jose.
Yeah, something. Yeah. Thank you.
She's like, "Do you want a salted cup to go with it?"
Yes, please.
And she just takes one and gets a little wet and dips it in the salt in a little salt tray and handles you. She puts some ice in there and the bottle and just like kind of goes on to the next person. Yeah,
Thank
exactly.
All right, it's my Matt Mercer votive candle. I don't know if we can see.
Fucking Mercer.
Fucking
That's
Mercer.
amazing.
Yeah. I wondered if I could ask you for some advice. Sort of mono.
Okay. Well, let's go. You got your liquid courage, so let's go have a talk. And he leads you into a very well decorated like business office. Like it looks like you're walking from the strip club into like not like a boardroom, but very much like this is his outside his home space. Regardless of his clubs, like you can tell like if they all look like this, that's crazy because this looks very comfortable and plush and leather and hardwood and very Toreador vampire.
Okay. She gets like crisscross applesauce in one of the chairs, and she's pouring it into the glass and chugging. But so I've asked a couple of kindred this, and I get weird. Well, I keep getting the same answer, but I think it's because I keep asking the broken kindred this, and I figured if anyone would have like.
He kind of like shakes his glass a little bit, swirling the ice around you, and you haven't seen him take a sip. You know we're all a little bit broken,
right? But you also know that some of us are way worse than others.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Just shoots it.
Well, tell me
All
this
right.
before you tell me the question. Tell me the answer that everybody's been giving you.
No.
Okay. Well, that means it's either a mentorship question or it's a should I go do this question. So, what are you expecting me to tell you yes about?
Vegas, can we love?
Can we love?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let me start you off with this. We are all kindred. We're all vampires. We're all undead, right?
Yeah.
But some of us are all about beauty and love.
I'm not talking about sex. I mean love.
Define love.
When you want to be around the person and you worry about them and you enjoy their company and you just want them to live their best whatever life is. You want them to be as reasonably close to happy as it's possible for someone to be.
Okay. Can you choose who you love?
I
What if you
think,
want all those things from somebody and for somebody and they turn out to be horrible people?
well, it happens.
Are they deserving of your love after that?
That wasn't my question.
Okay. So you just
Can
very
we
simple.
love each other?
The way you described it, yeah.
Then why do they keep telling me no?
You live with us long enough. And the questions you stop asking is how and can we? And the question doesn't turn into can I love someone? It's can I love someone and be loved by someone healthily, without manipulation, without coercement, without
Yeah.
power dynamics. It's not can we. Sometimes it's should we. Sometimes it's not is it real, but is it real because I think it's real? And he starts and he gets up and he goes behind his desk. And there's a bookshelf. It's a bunch of leather bound books.
Rich mahogany, yeah.
And he tosses down in front of you a book. And it's labeled as a textbook, but it is actually it's like it's a leather bound book, but it's philosophy and psychology, where the two worlds meet. You're asking some big fucking questions that people that have lived centuries and millennia longer than us before and well after we are all ashes are going to ask. So people will tell you no when that's the easiest answer to give you.
Does it
Just go ahead.
does it does it mean they don't love me then?
No, it's more of a question on whether they think they can love you in the way that they should based off their humanity and their ideas of what love is from when they were human versus now we're living in a world of manipulation and hunger.
Even though you've had that conversation with them and you've explained that it's not that and it's
But they don't know it's not that from you. They don't know if what you say to them is just more manipulation, if you're better at the game than they are, or if they don't want to take advantage of you because they do want to spend time with you. And now they're worrying because if they're not there that you are, then maybe they've subconsciously manipulated you because the game changed me into a monster so much that I'm doing it. That's you're asking questions that no human or otherkin mind has ever answered. But the people who say no will 100% have the get out of jail free card. What, you thought this was love? They can do whatever they want. You hurt them, they hurt you back. And then they can blame it on you for being naive to believe in such silly things as kindred love. Humans do it all the time. Is it manipulation? Is it abuse? You really love them, but they treat you like shit. Do you love the abuse? Do you love this? It's... Can you love a monster is the question for the ages. And can a monster love you back? There is no definitive answer. But what I can say, plan, hope for the best, plan for the worst, right? They act like they love you. They treat you with care. They treat you with kindness. They want you to succeed. They want to see you happy. And you want all those things for them. So why not call that love? If they show you to be someone else, then you handle that situation then. Everybody has their different definition of what love is. And all these... If it doesn't meet these quantifications, then it's not real. But people fall in love with movie stars they've never met, the characters that they've played, the people in songs, the picturesque forms in paintings across the world. People have fallen in love with those people in those things that have never existed to them. So when you realize that the person in front of you is just an image put there, you can still love that image, but that doesn't mean you love the person holding it up afterwards. And you're able to leave that.
Fuck. Okay.
What answer do you... I don't think that you want to know if they love you. I think you really want to know, is it a possibility? Because
Yes.
if it's not a possibility, let me ask you this. Who are these people? And I will tell you.
I don't know.
See, that mindset right there, that is why you're asking these questions. And that mindset, when you live with that long enough, that's why they say no. Because you're afraid of what I'm going to do with that information. You're afraid of what can happen if you put yourself to be vulnerable like that.
Of course
And
I
then-
am.
It's understandable, because the world has taught you to be like that. These people have shut themselves off by believing the concept that it doesn't exist, so they can never be hurt by it. It's, oh, I failed the game. I lost this game. And so they don't have to feel brokenhearted. They can feel shame for not being smart enough or clever enough to see the clues coming. And then they can live off the next 400 years by trying to stab and get back at them for it. That's not and never would have been love. Everybody's so afraid that they will always say no to having any kind of weakness like that.
It's not a weakness. I don't want them to get hurt.
Do they want you to suffer?
No.
So they don't want you to hurt.
Well, no, but if someone wanted to get to me,
That is the exact same for any person on this planet with any type of power. The ones that love them and that they love are going to be targets for manipulation.
so why would
That's
I
just-
tell you? And if you don't know,
You don't have to tell me. What I'm saying is that fear, that internal fear that you just experienced by me telling you, well, tell me who it is and I'll tell you if they love you or not. That's the fear of them, or why they say no, that love isn't real. It's because they've lived with that feeling of fear of being vulnerable and being exposed for so long that they would just choose that it doesn't exist. And the ones of us who've lived long and long lives, we have already believed that it doesn't. So of course we would tell the next generation it doesn't exist either. That doesn't mean it doesn't exist. But your definition of love is yours. and yours alone. So if you believe that your definition is possible in our reality, you just have to find the right person who's not going to prove you wrong.
This has been very helpful. Thank you.
Love always exists until it doesn't. And then you decide whether or not you find love again or you don't.
Okay.
But if someone is telling you that it doesn't exist, then they will never tell you they love you and believe it because they don't believe that feeling exists. And if they do, that is manipulation. And that is them becoming the beast.
Fun.
Welcome to the world, kiddo.
Well, as
Can I ask-
always, it's a pleasure talking.
I want to ask
Thank
you
you.
one question before you leave.
Yeah.
Was Camille one of the ones that told you no?
No. Ew. God, that's my dad. Are you serious?
You didn't tell me that these people were saying they loved you or didn't love you. They said that you asked these people, does love exist? And they said no.
Also, you
So
did
I was
ask
asking-
Camille.
Dad?
You asked Camille at one
Did
point
I?
if you guys could love. So yes, that's an actual thing that happened. Go.
Yeah. Yes, I did. He's my
Yes, I
dad. Why
did.
the fuck wouldn't I ask him? God. Oh.
It's just nice to know the mindset of those in charge.
See? This is why I shouldn't have said anything. God.
I'm not manipulating Camille by knowing whether or not he has a heart.
And how are you manipulating him?
Camille? By not taking his seat from him and letting him fuck up on his own. It's better for somebody else to get the pins in the ass and not the one sitting in the throne.
You're just putting the heads in his bag. I get it.
I think if Camille ever decided it was my day to try that out, I probably wouldn't enjoy it that much.
Mm-hmm.
But no, we want New Orleans to succeed, don't we?
Of course.
Well, the humans aren't going to do it, so maybe the dude sitting in the chair have a heart.
I gotta go wash something. Okay. Thank you for your time. She'll reach over and shake his hand.
He stands up, shakes your hand, take the book with you.
Okay.
Sometimes you don't have to read the book. Sometimes it just helps knowing that any question you've asked, thousands of people have asked before. We don't have to solve it tonight.
I feel very small.
Welcome to the world, kiddo.
I'm gonna go fix that. So.
Okay. He goes, I can't read.
Joke's on you. I can't read. Bam.
So what was the other conversation you wanted to have? Does that change things?
No.
Okay. What conversation do you want to have?
I want to go talk to Ego.
Okay. How are you going to go about getting a hold of Ego? Going to
I have
walk
his
into
phone
St.
number.
Louis number 2 and okay.
Yeah, I'll text him.
what do you
Hello.
He responds with sup.
LOL. Are you free?
No, $3.50 an hour.
I'm sorry, we just got a clock. I think I can swing that.
What do you need?
Just a chat.
And he goes STL number 2.
Sweet.
Go down.
Hoofing it over with my brand new book.
The brand new book. So you go to St. Louis number 2, and it is a very nice and well kept cemetery. It is not as packed with tourists as number one. It still gets them. You don't know if these people are just out of towners who don't know the difference. It's like, oh, St. Louis Cemetery, that's the one. And or if they're here for different famous bodies throughout Louisiana history. And as you walk through, um, these mausoleums are like little apartments for the Nos. They knock down walls of conjoining ones, and now they have a 150 square foot instead of 275 square foot apartments.
I need the HGTV that is just renovating mausoleums.
Oh
for
yeah,
Kindred.
yeah. What was it? What was it? Instead of Pimp My Ride, what was the other one? Like Cribs? Cribs.
Uh-huh.
It's Pimp My Crypt.
Pimp My Crips.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Yeah.
No, it's just it's VTM's Crips.
Yep. And as you walk through, one of the ghouls goes, "Hey, sorry to bother you. You're here for Ego, right? You said you might be coming on.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, follow me." And he just he's an older looking ghoul. You don't know how long he's or what age he was ghouled versus how long he maybe have been a ghoul.
Mm-hmm.
But as he walks you through, he comes to this fairly wide, like it was 3 different mausoleums, like smushed together,
Jesus.
like a family crypt, and they have knocked out the walls. So the front of these, what are essentially doors, are just the front side facing of like the 3 casket tall mausoleums. And it's just a swinging, he bangs his fist on the outside of the far left faceplate, and from inside the big stone slab moves and opens up, and you see what you thought would be like 3 caskets deep is just the door. And that inside is a well lit yet small apartment. It's fully lit from the inside. You see a TV going off in the corner. Small. Everything is like very apartment size. Like it's functional. It doesn't need to be large and extravagant. It's functional for a small living space.
Mm-hmm.
But he does have a very plush sense of comfort. The floors are all carpeted, like with thick carpets, instead of like a carpeted floor. And the walls all have tapestries, and it's just like rugs, but like nice looking, elegant design rugs.
Yeah.
And he hey, go ahead and come on in. Thanks Jimmy. No, thanks Jimmy. No, go. And Jimmy's like, yeah, oh no, I wasn't gonna come in. I understand my place. I wasn't gonna come in, boss. And he just kind of like looks as Ego like shuts the door, like Jimmy really wants to like go inside there. So go ahead, come on in.
This is nice. Are
Thanks, I appreciate
we a
this.
shoes off mausoleum or?
No, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. So, it didn't mention you were coming by today.
Yeah, no, I hadn't seen you in a while. I thought we'd have a little catch up.
Yeah, go ahead and have a seat.
Oh, thank you.
And as he sits down like he points to like a little love seat, but like it's a smaller backed love seat. It's almost like it was one of those like half-size display couches.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, or like a little kid's sofa love seat. It's bigger than like a kid's sofa love seat, but it's not much. It fits the space. But like if Ego was, like 5 foot flat, it would fit him better than his 6'3" frame. But he goes and actually sits in like one of the that I say one of the only recliner in here. And it is full size, and it is definitely a size comparison between you sitting in a kid and a half, love seat versus his recliner of like throne magnificence.
Yeah.
And he goes, "So let's just cut to the chase. You didn't come to see how I was doing. What can I do for you?"
First of all, I can't come by and say hi. We're basically friends and family at this point. But you do bring up an interesting point that I
Okay.
hadn't thought to make. How often does Id talk to you about me?
So how old were you when you returned?
That's a really good question, and I'm so glad that you asked that.
Like, how old are you roughly? Like your mid-20s?
She's like late 20s.
Okay.
I'm like 28, something like that.
Okay, so based off that, you know the phrase "bros before
Yes, I do.
hoes."
Yes, I do.
We're actually, in fact, bros. Not to call you a hoe, but we are, in fact, bros. I don't know why you think I would tell you a damn thing about what my brother says about you.
Oh, I like that. I really do.
What should he tell me about you? Because while we're friends and family, we don't really know each other that well.
See? And this is why I wanted to come by and chat.
Well, I'm glad you're here.
Yeah. I did want to sort of clear something up, though. And if I have to do this in an official capacity, I will, but I'd rather keep it informal.
Oh, that's scary. Okay.
Ooh, I know. I've been hearing some chatter
Oh, okay.
about some extracurricular activities on your end. And listen, we do love it when we get involved in, let's say, family business government, right? I love that for you. I'm really gonna need you to put the brakes on that for a little bit. There's a lot happening, and I don't have time or energy to deal with you. But I will happily make it.
No, I've been hearing these rumors too that I'm trying to rise in the right. What did you say? The family, governing government body here. I'm not exactly sure why that's coming up.
That is odd.
I would beg to question. I have been begging to question, should I say? Who would be trying to get my head lopped off by the bitch with the sword? To try to figure out maybe no, big brain energy, right? But maybe someone's trying to fuck with me, not so much you hearing secrets that I'm fucking with Candide. Could that possibly, in a reality of chess versus checkers versus Uno, be a possibility that maybe it's not so much I'm gunning for Candide, but some motherfucker is coming for me? Or do we possibly, while we're talking about family governance and, well, making things priorities, should I be making the power structure of New Orleans my priority? Or and he not pushes, but he held out his extended hand, like, or should the governing body maybe look out for me before I make it's my priority?
Interesting. Here's a fun fact about me
Okay.
that I bet you didn't know. I really like Star Wars. Like, a lot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and this is embarrassing for most people, but I actually really liked the prequels.
They were good. They were good. I
They had
like
their
the
merits.
originals better, but yeah.
I know why people don't like them. I'm not here to argue one way or another. We don't need this to end in bloodshed.
CGI was way better, I have to say.
Well, yeah. Obviously. Practical effects are always that's not the point. The point is, you know how at the end, like in episode 3, when Anakin thought that Obi-Wan was having an affair with Padme, and it was really just Palpatine getting in his head and doing all that, and it turned into like this really sort of convoluted blah, 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 blah. When the obvious answer is, yeah, just go ahead and make them be having an affair, because it's a very obvious Arthur Lancelot Guinevere amalgam, you know what I mean? And they
Okay.
didn't do that. And sometimes the obvious choice is the right choice.
Yeah, very Sherlock Holmes of you. Are you also aware
Hmm.
of where the fuck you are at
Yes.
to be making these accusations?
Oh, they're not accusations. I'm
No.
so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I did not mean to come in here to your home and accuse. I didn't.
Okay. So what? So let's start this over. Let me take my
Which is what I
assumptions of
wanted to do in the
accusation.
first place. Mm-hmm.
So you think I'm coming for Candide?
I have reason to believe yes.
Okay. And of course, a good investigator would never tell their possible perp
Well,
where they
to,
got the information from,
to
because
quote the
witnesses.
master, bros before hoes.
He does smile. He goes, okay. And I tell you that possibly someone is coming for me and starting these rumors that you're hearing. You say it's more believable that I'm going for Candide, but I have yet to do in any way, shape, or form that. Even when she was acting as sheriff, even when rest in all the ashes, Grin, I never went after Grin. I have yet to go after Candide. Now, the Nos do things differently than anyone else.
That is fair.
But as you said, sometimes the most obvious answer is the answer. Sometimes the direct approach is the best approach.
Well,
And in these tiny stone spaces that we like to reside in here, a similar tactic to the Nos in the cities is almost always, applied. You stick a incendiary device or an explosive device inside of these little rock prisons, and then when they explode, it goes really badly for anything and anyone inside, kindred or kind. There's no politics that we need to do. We continue to exist off knowing that mutual destruction is not the way.
well then let me ask. You're not unaware of these rumors, obviously.
I'm not unaware of these rumors, yes.
Well, who do you think's setting you up?
Bros before hoes. You keep your secrets, I keep mine.
You don't think.
No, not literally my bro. I don't think
Okay.
it has any design to take my head.
By the way, and I mean
Hmm.
this honestly, I'm very sorry that y'all's relationship with Grin was not the one that we had with him.
He chose us for very specific purposes, and that was to replace him. Make no doubt about it. But it was supposed to be an equal and shared responsibility between St. Louis 1 and 2, where I would run 1 or 2, and he would run the other. Neither one of us came into this existence with that in mind. For us, it was his decision, his design, and one that would have, at a certain point, happened. But now, without that pressure of having to do it and making those connections and threats and hold over someone else's heads, this, that, and the other, I get to live my existence however I want.
Hmm.
Instead of having to be in charge of the visual monsters of New Orleans.
Do you still play ball?
I don't believe that we're going to be playing ball anytime soon, so no, I don't play ball.
Do you fight? That's not a threat. That's a legit question. I only just found out about Fight Club.
Fight Club, yeah. That would be a very opportune time for someone that would want to take my head to take my head. So no, I don't fight for sport or on display. Mainly because sometimes our beasts get the best of us, and I would hate to be the recipient of someone else only losing control under high duress situations.
I don't envy that.
That's
That
why I
sucks.
don't want to be Primogen. It's like fighting on display. It's
And
like
you
fighting
really
for
don't like
sport.
Candide that much?
No. And she knows it.
Can I ask why?
You could. But the bigger issue is the fact that I'm not trying to take her spot, nor do I want her spot, nor do I necessarily think that the Nosferatu of New Orleans would be in a better hand of someone other than Candide, and certainly not mine, because I would tell them to run them fucking selves. And the ones that didn't, then we would take care of.
So, if best case scenario, you had your entire unlife stretched out before you, what do you want it to look like?
Not New Orleans.
So leave.
It's not always so easy. The roads. You can't just pick up and leave when you want to.
Apparently, there are buses that people can just shuffle you into the minute someone starts breathing down your neck about stuff.
Well, we know who runs the bus lines around here, so as long as it's not the brouhaha that you have an issue with, you might be able to get out of the city.
I mean, on a less antagonistic note, have your homeless been getting fucked with a lot recently?
No, they're... The homeless here don't exactly know... I mean, our homeless know who we are because they're our homeless. Our veterans know who we are because they're our veterans, so they're a little bit of us. But the ones that aren't... They think that we're mafia. They think that we're... Some believe that we're chemically treated monsters after, the Chernobyl. They believe that we're powerful and to be afraid of. Even when we try to help them, it's hard to keep them when shining rays of forgiveness and compassion are blowing down upon you. So we lose some to the churches. But they want to believe in that shit. Maybe they'll be better people on the backside of it. To get them off the street.
You know to keep an eye out for them, though, right?
We look out for everybody in the city.
I'm aware.
I don't believe we lose a lot to Second Inquisition.
I assure you, we do.
Well, for the safety of New Orleans, then let me ask you this. What are you guys going to do about it? Because that's between the sheriff, the hounds, the Primogen, and the princes.
I know. With all due respect, when you become one of those, I'll let you in on the plan.
As long as there's a plan, then I don't need to worry about it.
And for the record, he told me not to come here.
We don't always see eye to eye.
I know, he's a little bit shorter.
Doesn't mean he's wrong. Doesn't mean I'm wrong. Doesn't mean I'm right and that he's right. We just see situations from different angles.
Don't. I already had, she holds up the book. I've already had Philosophy 101 tonight. I can't. Can't, my good dude.
He reaches over and he's got the actual textbook version. You know, it's been like,
Yeah.
got it out of a dumpster 10 years ago. Yeah, it's a good book. He kind of tosses it
Yeah,
down to the
well,
side.
fuck it. Since I got you here, do you believe in love?
Do I believe in love?
Yeah.
I don't know. Honestly, is this what you really want to know?
Yeah.
Okay. So you came in here thinking that I was coming for your girl Candide.
I'm in here
Hold on,
wanting
no.
to catch up.
No, you didn't. Aside from the fact
did.
that
I'm a
all
nice
of tonight
person.
has been about machinations, rumors, and evil doings, do you think I want to be vulnerable? No, I haven't found anybody worth my love. We'll go with something like that.
Christ, I didn't ask, are you in love? Have you been in love? Do you have plans to be in love? I didn't
Hey, look,
ask about your wig wearing situation. Do you wear
okay,
wigs?
let me
Will you wear
explain it.
wigs?
Let me explain it a different way. When someone comes along to change my mind, I will be willing to adapt to that change. Until
I
then,
got you, Jim. I'm on it.
until then,
Oh, really? That's so interesting.
that's
I'm
the
just gonna-
power couple of New Orleans right there.
Hold on,
Fucking
sorry, I have
Ego
to-
and Liz.
I have to stretch
We
real
all
quick.
have
She
to
reaches
move.
into her pocket.
Nope, we all
reaches
have
You
to
would
move.
have
real
to
quick.
move.
Hey, girl, you up?
Switching sides.
Do you want to go on a double date with me? Hey, Liz.
I'm just saying.
So it's got this
recently, bro.
brother. It's got this brother.
Hard
that,
Rock
like,
would
I
just
think you would
explode the
like.
next day. We don't know why the Hard Rock exploded in New Orleans today in national news. However,
This is single from another Nosferatu, so we're good on
This
one
is
thing
the
with you.
this is the end game relationship. Like if you try and date Fenris, he vanishes for a
Yeah.
really long time and then he comes back late. This is that. It's okay, we're setting it up now, and then when we're ready to retire this show, go fuck Ego and we'll just watch New Orleans implode. It's fine.
when the gangrel monster fucker wants to fuck the Nosferatu, who apparently is being rumored as the mastermind of New Orleans, let's set up this power couple. Let's watch the Hard Rock get destroyed the next day.
Just a Hard Rock, nothing else.
Well, then can I ask you for not a quick favor, but as a show of good faith, I'm going to be a little vulnerable with you, and you can take that as you will.
I will try to not take your vulnerability. He just looks at you.
God, that got weirdly sexual. I'm gonna try to slip into the network, or I'm gonna try to look at something.
I just have to, while she's slipping into the network, say to the chat, it can't be share, because hers is do you believe in life after love, and ours is do you believe in love after life. So
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
love after life. Oh my god. I'm taking that toy away from you. I'm flying up there just to do that, and then I'm leaving again. That's all.
Okay, so are you trying to peer into him, or what are we thinking?
No,
Okay.
I'm.
Into his mind, not his
No, I know.
feelings.
Into him.
Into his physique.
Into his
I'm going
bones.
to- Try... Was it? Give me your eyes. Pay with your
Pay
eyes.
for your crimes with your eyes!
with your
What in the cult nonsense?
It
just
is
happened?
very no.
Tonight is
It's
the
what
Baldur's
Oh,
Gate
baby.
no.
episode.
It's what kept coming up in mind, and I posted it in the when I posted the clip of we're pulling your teeth. I was like, it's giving pay for your crimes with your eyes. And Matthew was like, I forgot about that. I was like, you said it. Like, how could you?
I did.
It
I
was,
did.
and I don't remember who we were fucking with and what. But it
I
was a
remember.
Disasters in Danger game,
Mhm.
and it was Matthew's
was some
unhinged
pirates.
nonsense. It was some pirates, of course it was.
It was some pirates,
It
and
was. It was.
but I
It was
made
when
them-
I yelled cunt.
I made
my
them
God,
think that they were
yes!
blind.
Yes.
I made them think that they
Yeah,
were
the darkness
blind and
cat.
told
Yes,
them
with darkness.
that they would pay for their crimes
I
with their
remember.
eyes. They could no longer
I
see.
So
will tell you, I
hard.
did send that clip to my boss, the dentist, and he thought it was hilarious.
But then he retired
Come on.
immediately afterwards. So I don't
He
know.
did
You drove
retire
him away.
immediately afterwards.
He could never
he
get
was
out of his head. He's
exposed,
just
Cat.
on his teeth.
You got too close, and he had to leave.
Yeah, my boss have sat down talking about which cryptids were better than others. He knows. He's aware.
That's a whole other episode. Cryptids
I'm-
coming to New Orleans.
I'm going to try to find where the rumor started.
Okay. What rumor are you going to start with? Like, give me a person and a conversation, and then you can work your way back.
I'm gonna go with, because he was truth serumed, I'm gonna go with the id conversation that we had.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me.
And because I love him.
Fair. Go ahead and give me a stamina composure.
Okay. Oh shit. 6 successes?
Okay.
Excuse me. 6. Sorry, yeah.
Successes.
Successes.
Successes. So you go back into that night. Before you know it, you're sitting at that table watching them take the serum. That's the easiest slip into this that you've had. Roll me a wits awareness.
This man threw it behind his back and none of us
Mhm.
know that.
Right.
What's it? It's 3 successes.
Okay.
I can sacrifice some willpower if I need to push it.
Or are
Push
you
it
going to
real
push
good.
it, or are you going to go with 3 successes? That's it before you find out the...
You know, I'm
That's using your
I'm being
advice to
vulnerable.
push
Also,
to roll
all
better.
he's seeing is just, he's like, I just want to be vulnerable with you for a minute.
Just
Oh God, this
Blue
is
screen it
off-putting. Then yeah, I'm gonna use some willpower.
okay. Go ahead.
So what do I do?
Just roll a willpower.
So I roll.
You
Fuck
take
you.
those successes and you can add those to your 3 that you already have.
The fuck you wasn't you. It was at the dice
I know.
roller. I apologize. Okay, so 2 successes. So 5.
As you're sitting there at the table, you feel yourself get as you get confused of how quickly and seamlessly you just fell into this. Your mind wants to start to wander towards that. You keep it focused on the scene in front of you. You see Id. And everything else is kind of out of focus. If you didn't know who was sitting next to Id, you wouldn't be able to tell. Id's in 4K, everybody else is in 320p. And
Love goggles.
you see him take a swig, and you hear the muffled, like conversations through water. And his voice recounts the conversation where he believes that Id is coming for Candide's power structure.
Uh-huh.
Make me another stamina composure to see if you can go into your dream version of Id's memories.
Wait, am I in stamina? Shut.
That fucking clock, the live sound effects. Kill me.
You've seen Inception, right? This is
I
Inception
know.
with
Now
clock
I
sounds.
panicked. As you dream, the clock just happens.
As we go deeper.
I am so sorry.
No, you're fine.
And it's like a couple minutes off from the actual, so I can't time it. I'm so sorry. And I'm now panicking. Stamina, composure.
It's 3 minutes early.
Did we roll? We rolled. Okay, so 5 successes.
5 successes. your vision, when we do these kind of dives into the Madness Network, you still have your visual perspective. You don't see your form unless you bring it inside of your eyesight.
Right.
And your eyesight changes and everything starts to get bigger. And then you realize it's not getting bigger, you're getting closer. You don't feel yourself moving. But as you're looking at id, you get closer and closer. And it's like you see the light catch id's eyes from one of the overhead lights up there in the VIP area. And that shine in his eye, you feel yourself being pulled into that shine. To that reflection of the light. Until your entire vision in front of you is just the light expanding and expanding. And you feel yourself being consumed by that light, being pulled in. And the moment that you see nothing else around you, as you don't get to look, but when it takes over your entire vision, you snap through the bright light. And you're in the cemetery. And your visual perspective is still, you see your head move. It looks to another Nos that you're sitting around these stone benches around the fountain. And the vision starts to kind of cloud over and fade. Except for that one Nos that you're looking at. Make me a wits awareness.
Three.
And you hear your voice. You can feel the vibrations. You know it's your voice that you're hearing. Hold on, what do you mean? No, he wouldn't do that. Who the fuck did you hear that from? You just can't make out what the other side
Can
is
I-
saying.
Willpower to push.
You can willpower to push. How many willpower do you have?
I have 5.
Okay. So you can only use the remaining dice from that previous one. So you got 3 successes last time on that willpower. No, you got 2. 2 successes.
So I can use
So
3.
So remove 2 dice from this this pool.
Okay. No. Fucking idiot. 3 successes.
Okay. And you feel that cloudy sensation of you get like a smudge on your sunglasses one day at the summer. You get that. It's like you clean them off and everything gets a lot clearer. And you hear him go, "No, I'm telling you, man. I saw him. I know. Let me get some pictures and I'll bring them back to you." All right, well, and you hear your voice again. "Look, if this is real, we'll take care of it. But I'm not doing shit until I know some proof." I don't think he would do that. And the other voice, the other Nos, who you've never seen before.
Okay.
Take that back. Roll me a wits awareness now that he's more in focus. Because there's something that pulls at you with the fountain.
3. Is it the guy that we staked at the party?
It's the guy that you staked at the party.
Interesting.
No, this is afterwards. So he's back. You know.
Yeah,
regained
he was only
control.
out for the night.
But that's the guy. You watch him leave, and your eyes go back to the fountain. You just watch the water bubble over. And then you intake breath. You just watch the fountain. You can feel now there's warmth in your cheeks. You can feel the breeze blowing through the crypt. As he actually inhales and exhales. And you feel that warmth leave your face as he looks over. You look over. And you see that kindred coming back. Look, you didn't get this from me. Sorry, man. I'm not going to tell you who I got it from. But I was getting a little worried. Because I like what we got going on. Yeah, I do too. But I'm telling you, I don't think... What? Okay. And he hands the manila envelope over. It's the same manila envelope. The same pictures as he goes and flips through them. This looks bad, man. And you hear your voice. It does. And you're not going to tell me who this came from? No, I get enough information from all about the city. This was not his goal, but I told him if he was in the area and he's seen this dude, and I showed him Ego's face. If you see this dude, take pictures. Okay. And you feel your body stand up
Oh no.
and look over to this kindred. Get these pictures in your hands. Roll me another stamina composure.
I swear to
stick
God,
around.
if you get stuck for 15 years again, Megan, none of us are there to slap you out of it.
Well, here's the thing. If I do, it's I've become id.
That's a fucked up kind of kink I don't need to know about. That's
Listen,
a little
I will go
uncomfortable.
fuck myself.
I know, I will literally go
now
fuck
inside
myself.
of Ego's mausoleum for the rest of your existence.
You know?
Was it
No,
stamina
she left
composure?
like 3 nights ago. Yeah,
Ugh.
stamina composure. Would Ego keep her mausoleum for a decade?
Yes. I don't think he
6.
would, yeah.
6 successes. Okay.
Successes.
You see yourself, or you feel yourself getting pulled back. And you force yourself to stay. All right. Well, we got to do something about this. Thanks for telling me. I appreciate it. But this can't go anywhere. I know. I don't think we should just tell Candide until we have proof. Yeah, no, definitely not. She doesn't need to find out any of this shit until we can prove it. The other kindred just kind of nods. All right, well, get some rest before sunup, right? Yeah, you too. And he turns to walk away, and you feel your consciousness move towards it. As you grab the back of his skull and slam it repeatedly into the mausoleum. There's a stake in your hand now. As it comes up in your eye line, and you bury it through this kindred's back into its heart. And pulls away. And you're back looking at Ego.
Wait, quick. How long was I out for?
You didn't leave. You're out. You've been here the entire time.
No, how long?
Oh.
Like 15 minutes?
Fucking Malkavian shit. No, like a second or two? You just
Okay.
said, I want to be very vulnerable, and then you just
Yes.
took...
Oh,
You just kind of stared at me for a
that's
second.
so good.
And you asked,
so good. She like grabs the side of his head. That's wonderful. You have no idea, but that's so wonderful. I mean, no, it's not. I need to get to Rebecca. Sorry.
I mean, I can't give you a ride. Sorry.
No, that's.
But I mean, you know where she lives. Oh, you just
Yeah,
said
no.
you need to go. Oh, we're just talking out loud, not telling me you need a ride. Okay.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it.
Malkavians, y'all are great. Y'all confuse the fuck out of me. I'm just telling you that now.
You should
But are
spend
we
more
good,
time
though?
with us.
No. You look. We've had one conversation between us. This first conversation with other people. This conversation, the first me and you in my place conversation, and I thought I was gonna have to deal with a hound, and then yeah, no, the other two are the prince and Lucy.
Okay, that's a good point.
Host a mixer, bring people from other towns. Get all the Malks
Oh, yeah.
in town.
Let's get all the Malks in New
Oh my
Orleans.
God,
In New
Let's do it on
Orleans.
Halloween too.
Malkavian
Let's just-
mixer.
I love that.
Oh.
We'll spend 4 months in real time planning this party, and
It'll
then
take 10 minutes.
and
And
then-
we'll-
minutes.
and it's gonna be one
Every
night
night.
in game, and it's gonna be great.
That
Hold
is
on,
not
baby,
what I'm
just
talking
like-
about.
One normal night.
Wednesday
Okay, we're just
once.
sitting there just having a drink, and they all just kind of like look all at the same time. He goes, Jem, what's in the Hard Rock? As they all say it all at the same time.
No,
Jam,
we throw
jam,
the
jam,
party
jam.
at the Hard Rock.
Oh yeah, there you go.
And
That
then
was-
That's gonna
leave
be
us all
our
in there.
dream venue.
Oh my god. I love that so
Just a
much.
bunch of stoned out Malkavians all thinking they're all having the same party.
This is fuck this game. That's what we're doing now.
Welcome to the 2023 Malkavian Mixer, hosted by the Hard Rock of New Orleans.
Hosted by the
Cancel Blood in the Bayou. This is the
Everybody's-
new show. Okay.
Everybody's just zooted out of their
Oh
minds.
Yeah.
my
Playing
god.
slot machines.
with thanks to our sponsors, a Hard Rock and Tito's Tequila.
Tito's Tequila. Tito's
Oh
Tequila.
god. Listen, I would like to pitch
Oh my god.
a Monsters University style scare games, but like the blood games.
Yeah.
And I would like us to all, as clans, join like they do with their
you wanna do, like,
fraternities, and just
the
have like the Olympics for vampires.
Clan-based
Clan
Hunger
games.
Games?
No, it's not Hunger Games. It's like what was it in school? Field day in elementary school.
Okay.
Well,
We'll do
you all
Field
went out
Day,
in
but it
teams.
turns quickly into the Squid Game.
Yeah, I
Whichever
mean-
one.
I
We just
mean-
kill off and see who the best coterie is.
Listen, okay, that's a
Or the
whole
best
other
clan.
issue. I was gonna do it for fun.
No, our coterie is
But-
the best coterie, so
Yes, it
we
is.
win by default.
True.
We are
Yeah,
true
obviously.
Beverly.
We're also the only
Yes.
coterie, so by default.
Only coterie, best
We
coterie.
win.
Yeah. Okay.
We did it. World's best cup of coffee.
So you're gonna leave Ego and do what? Go talk to Id now?
Yeah.
Or are you gonna go talk to Rebecca Chase?
No, I was trying to throw him off.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna go talk to
Subterfuge.
It succeeded. Because I thought you were now going to go talk to Rebecca Chase, and I was like,
No.
The
I
best
kind of wanted to be
subterfuge.
there when he walked in. He's like, hey.
The best subterfuge that has
"Look, all
happened
right,
in
we
this
go to
entire
Rebecca
fucking
Chase."
game
No,
just
I'm not going
happened.
there. Yeah.
Because weren't they in cahoots together? Wasn't that the thing?
Yeah, Rebecca and
And Ego? Yeah.
Cahootses.
I thought you meant for a minute her and Candide, and I'm like, that's the weirdest name for sex I've ever heard. Alright.
Yeah,
What
no, it's
position is
very,
that?
It's a very specific position.
Wow, they did the reverse cahoots last night. Did you see that?
You guys start with that?
Yeah, no,
Damn.
that's what going the in cahoots is.
Mm.
Sorry.
Which part of the lesbian is the cahoot?
The cahoots.
If you have to
Which
ask,
lesbian
then
is
you're...
a ca and
And
which
which one is
lesbian
the
is a
hoot?
hoot?
Is the hoot?
So,
I've been told I'm
You're
a hoot.
definitely the hoots, right? No.
Um,
I am the ca.
They fight for which one is the hoot that night.
Yeah.
The hootinest, tootinest cowgirls. the
One of you is
sign.
ca.
Oh,
I'm the hoot.
fuck me.
Yeah.
ah, that's like the best
So-
friends necklace where you really wanted the best, but you end up with friends. Hoots.
Yeah.
Shut up. Wait, that's merch. That's merch.
That's merch. Write it down.
So you're gonna go to IDS,
Yeah.
or okay? Well, I mean, there's nothing stopping you. You can just go right on in. It's,
Yeah, I can do whatever I want. I'm a
Yeah.
free woman. Mm.
Yeah.
My legs were made for walking. What's up?
So you go over there, you knock on the door. He sees who it is, opens the door for you. Hey,
Thank God.
what's going on?
Hey.
Everything okay?
Well,
He kind of looks around you to see if there's the coterie,
yeah, no, it's just
the
me.
hound pack.
No, it's just me.
Do you
Or
need to come
fun
in?
DLC. Sorry.
Um,
Oh god.
oh God, I don't even fucking know where to start. I have so many questions.
All right. Well, first, let's get you inside. He kind of like opens the door and gets you inside and shuts the door. Do you want
Kind
to?
of Moogle.
Do you want a drink?
Yes.
Okay, I got A, B, and O. AB.
Tito's, if you have it.
Yeah, the tequila, right?
It is.
I think I got some of that.
Yeah, whatever's closest.
Oh no, this is Tony's, not Tito's. Sorry.
Oh, well then never mind. It's only Tito's for this girl. Think. Yeah, just yes, please.
And he pours you a. It's not a wine glass, but it's like a tumbler glass.
Sure.
Okay, looking at Tito's handmade vodka, the bottle. Do you guys see why I thought it was tequila?
I'm not saying you're wrong. It doesn't look like a vodka bottle.
I
No.
also
not
just
tequila.
always thought it was tequila because I'm a racist. And Cheetos sounds like a Mexican whorehouse name, so I assumed it was tequila.
Listen.
Like,
That's very.
No,
That's
I
very
just
fair.
like 'cause I don't
Like,
drink
there was
vodka,
a
right? And I don't
reason.
drink tequila. So
I feel
whenever
like if
see that, I'm
vodka's
like,
gonna be
"This-
named after a person, it should be named after someone Russian. Because
Yeah.
that's the culture I have been raised in. Like,
Yeah.
sorry, I know, and I'm
Tito's,
acknowledging.
get on it, man.
This
You
is
could be
no,
making
this is
so much
my
tequila right
everyone's
now.
a little bit racist from Avenue Q moment. This is the stereotype I engage in with naming
This
of
is it.
alcohols specifically. Like,
It's your one.
So
you got it.
So he pours you some Tony's tequila mixed with some O negative,
I'll have to throw up half of this.
and
are we using blood to dilute it so you don't like throw up as much? Like, is that like?
Wait, but so does that mean
No,
that
you
your
should
body
just-
your
just
body
puke up the
splits
tequila.
it
yeah,
Mhm.
and
Do we have
quarantines
multiple stomachs?
off-
Do we have multiple
quarantines
stomachs?
off the stuff
Like,
that has to be
Well,
thrown
he's
up.
not.
and the
He's not
rest of it-
shaking it.
if we
So
consume
when they
enough
have-
blood with every meal, can we trick our stomachs into not throwing it up and just absorbing it?
no.
Listen, for science, I will
I will
try
test
it.
this.
Oh, spaghetti
Really.
bolognese? No.
Close. Oh, she's like, it's just like a Bloody Mary. This is wonderful. Thank you. I've been honest with you. Like,
Okay.
all of our interactions, I have been honest with you.
I'm glad to
I'm-
hear that.
Honestly, honest with everybody
It's
for
easier
the
that
most.
way.
What?
It's easier that way, yeah.
Yeah. And I know that you haven't been honest with me about a lot of things, and you don't owe me anything. And I'm not here to accuse you. I am not in your house accusing you of anything. And I'm not in your house as a hound
It's just-
bringing
it's-
nonsense, I promise.
he
Not
kinda
again.
leans back. Okay, none of that.
Twice.
Didn't think you were, but what have I lied about? He looks like contemplative, like he's trying to think.
The guy that gave you the pictures.
Yeah, what about him?
Don't think he's around anymore.
Okay.
I'm trying
Sure.
to figure out why you got rid of him. If stopping ego was something that you wanted to do.
He looks at you, and as you make eye contact, his face has kind of dropped the mask a little bit. I would like to know why you think I killed somebody. And what that has to do with me lying to you.
Because
I don't necessarily talk about my kills.
I saw it.
You saw me kill somebody? When? Oh. The mask completely drops. So you saw me smash his skull into a
Mhm.
mausoleum.
And then you stake
What does
him.
that have to do? Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm not saying that you had to tell me, because you didn't. But, why? If you had a problem with ego trying to take over or anything like that, why would you care if someone else knew? It's not like you wanted to take care of
I
it
don't-
in-house. You told me about it.
I know now the ego probably not making any moves toward Candide or the Primogen power structure. Those are real pictures.
I know.
Those are real photos. I wanted to know why Ego was making untalked about visits with one of the most powerful Ventru in the city.
So you killed a man?
There's a difference between my own curiosity because I don't believe that he was going after Candide's spot. But Mouse did. And if Mouse took those pictures and went to other people and said, well, I gave Id some of these pictures because Ego wants to take over New Orleans and he didn't do anything about it. Mouse didn't know Ego from any other Nos in the city. No ties to him. He resided in the cemetery. He knew who was boss. He stayed out of the way. So who gave Mouse these pictures? Who wanted Ego out of the way so bad that he was willing to kill Ego and throw me into the mix, if you remember correctly, to get us both out of the way? So what, we weren't standing in their way between taking over Candide?
And who do you think it is?
No idea. Every
And
single one of Mouse's ghouls held no answer to that question.
you just dropped it?
No. Come up to the room, the stream room. goes up,
I'm going to die.
and he opens up a document. He opens up a program, and when he opens up the program, it looks like this web of blocks, and then a string to another block to another string to another.
His conspiracy board?
His conspiracy board.
It would
Every
be
good
digital.
analyst.
Oh my god.
He doesn't want to burn his apartment down to get rid of the evidence. He just check the hard
Just
drive.
saying.
When he opens it up, you do notice that it says in little red banner across the top and the bottom of the application, top secret / SCI, top and bottom of it.
SCI?
It's a designation for type of top secret material. That's
Sure.
That's not irrelevant. It's not secret.
Okay.
It's not secret. No. It's not second conquestical.
No, I did. I was like, is that something I should know? Because I
it's
don't
not-
know.
It's
Okay.
not 2i anything.
Okay.
It's a program he's not supposed to have access to. Essentially, it just strikes you odd that he would have
Okay.
not top secret information, but the program itself is definitely used for top secret endeavors.
Like military?
Yeah, like it'd be like analyst type.
Okay.
It's made to tie. It's made to be a conspiracy board, but for people who don't believe in conspiracies, unless it's the government, then they're the ones giving us the conspiracies. That's a whole other episode.
Sorry, I'm getting a nosebleed. Okay.
But yeah, and it is a list of every NOS connection to outside clans that he knows about. He points out different things of like you saw connections with Grin to different clans, and some of them are like 3 or 4 stages of like this person knows this person this way, they've worked together on this, and then this person who is friends with this person, and it's just this spider web
Holy
of
shit.
the interconnectivity of New Orleans kindred power structure, to include anarchs, the ones that they know about and the ones that are connected to the kindred. This is what the NOS do best. And in this one page, there are hundreds, if not thousands, if not millions of tiny little droplets that could go from one web to the next web if things happen, to the point where any of these individual squares could want to kill Ego, id, me, Candide, power structure, all the NOS, none of the NOS. It's not like I gave up, but this is what we're dealing with. This is all of us in New Orleans.
Where's the coterie?
Roll a wits awareness. He doesn't point it out to you.
I can read my own name. That I can read.
But can you find it in this web of mystery?
It's Where's
But-
Waldo, but for all of our.
Where's Waldo with
Yeah.
my own name?
Yeah,
But can you
exactly.
read the rest of our names, or is it just Gem?
Ah, shit. That's 6.
Ooh.
6 successes? Okay.
It's
Successes.
hard to find weird connections and be like, what the fuck is that?
You don't get the time to figure out motives and like your own motivations, not motives to kill Ego, but like your own motivations, your own motives for how you act. But you do see multiple times your name and the coterie's name as coterie, and the individual names of the coterie members multiple times throughout this document. And because it happens so frequently, you don't get a chance to really like lock on or read it before he's like moving it around. And then he zooms out to show you the map. And when he zooms out in the web to show you the full web of New Orleans, the information is not being displayed because it would be too small to display. This is one of those zoom out, you see the web, you zoom into different parts of the web.
I feel so small again.
Welcome to the world, kiddo.
What did you say?
Welcome to the world. Small. The world is small. You're small inside of it. The world's big.
Megan has a question. Do I
That's
know?
ex-
Is
what?
deja vu a glitch in the Matrix? Does that mean something special, or
was Sway just saying that twice?
was that just
No,
too good
that
an
was not just
opportunity?
that was just not Sway. Both id and ego, or both id and Vegas and ego, all said the same thing.
I know. So that's weird, right?
I would find that weird if
That's
people
very weird. Yeah.
I don't know if you find that weird or
kiddo.
not.
Well, I'm adorable. What the fuck?
Correct.
And also,
Thank
I'm
you, Baloo.
stupid as hell. I'm gonna.
Anyway, thank you for the raid while we're in the middle of
Thank you
this.
for the
Oh,
raid,
hey,
Baloo.
Raid! Hooray! Yeah. So, what did you say? And I'm gonna grab his face.
There's a slight pull away, but he stops and he goes, "Welcome to the world. The world's
I'm
big. We're
focusing
big.
on that
small."
phrase to see if
Okay.
if it's something's happening.
Stamina, composure.
I'm sorry, guys.
I'm
Do
not
not
complaining.
apologize.
No
Okay.
complaints. You're fine.
I simply am willing to run over today.
4 cesses.
Recesses. You hear, with 4 successes, you are now sitting in front, or you're standing behind id at the moment. When you grab his face, you try to focus on that phrase, "Welcome to the world, kiddo." With each word, with each syllable, with each inflection, the face that you're holding changes. They all said it the exact same way, the exact same accent, the exact same inflection. And it's like the face shimmers, and the lips move with different muscles, but they all form the exact same shape and the same tonality of the words. It was each individual voice, but saying it the exact same way. They're the same person. Body snatchers.
Are you?
I am me, and very confused. Are you?
I'm me.
Who
I'm
are
Hi,
Kiddo.
me. I'm Dad. Sorry.
you?
I'm Kiddo.
Kiddo. You're Gem. Hold on. Oh, no. What's going on? And he stands up. What's going on? Who are you? Hello.
I'm Jem. I'm Jem.
Okay. You get all serious, and then you say you're Kiddo?
You called me Kiddo.
That's a phrase.
He called me Kiddo. They both
Who?
called me Kiddo.
Ooh.
Everyone tonight that I've talked to has called me Kiddo. You've all said the exact same thing.
Okay, it's weird, but it's...
Welcome to the world, Kiddo. You've never called me Kiddo before.
Well, no, but I mean... That's... Okay, that's weird, but I mean...
Yeah.
I'm still me.
You're not Addison because we killed him.
I'm me. I'm sorry if I said something other people said tonight, but like... That's just weird. It's not... something more weird. It can just be a weird thing to happen.
That's not a thing. There's no such thing as just a weird.
Can we have it just be a thing that happened that's weird and not me be attached to something else that's fucking up your life?
You're not fucking up my life. You're not.
You know what I mean. Your life, our life, kindred life. Welcome to New Orleans. Not
Kiddo.
No, welcome to New Orleans. And like, he was going to say it again and stopped himself. Like he realized there's a look of like confusion on his face of like, I was going to say that again.
Does that ring any bells for me for someone else?
It does not.
Fuck. Okay. It has been a very weird night.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that I'm exhausting.
The world is exhausting.
But, you know, you make things better for me. Everything else feels like a hornet's nest hurricane, and whenever I'm around you, everything relaxes. I'm not that for you, though. And I'm sorry.
It's not that you're stopping the noise or you're adding to the noise. It's just there's so much noise.
I could
I'm
be
glad that
quieter.
It has nothing to do with you. You could be silent. The world's noise would still be there.
Is there anything else that I need to know?
If you find out who's trying to come after Ego, and by extension me, you let me know. I can help. I can take care of that.
I know.
You've obviously seen that I can take care of things, so I'm sorry you had to see that.
I've been asking you to fight in front of me for ages.
You don't fight publicly.
That's what your brother said.
That's what Grin said.
But you fight at the thing.
Yeah. Because Ego doesn't fight at the thing. We also have to show that you aren't going to survive coming after us. If I'm the one that's really good at fighting and I'm out there fighting and I win all the time, what about the one who doesn't fight? That's bigger and stronger and doesn't fight.
Well, I don't know how you are at fighting, but I know you beat this pussy up. Hey!
And he just kind of... So when did you talk to Ego?
Tonight? Before I saw you? After I saw Vegas.
Going to Vegas for? None of my business. None of my business.
No, I asked him if we could be, not he and I, but like in general, if we could love. He gave me this.
he actually takes
He gave
it,
me
goes,
homework.
He gave me a psychology textbook.
He's not your primitive warrior sire, but he gave you homework.
No, you don't know this, but actually he was the one who gave Siren like an entire like master's class level series of textbooks about consent and sexual manipulation and all of these things because of their blood bond issue, where he was like, study this fucking shit first. Okay.
Okay.
It's normal
but
for
he,
Vegas. Like
he takes the book and looks at it. I think Ego has this one. I mean, it's not as nice
He
as
does.
this.
Yeah, we showed.
Yeah, it's heavy shit. But it all just boils down to the world is loud. And look, whether it's real or it's not real, the world's a fucked up place. And maybe our real is different than humans. It's all about how you define it and how you look at it.
I don't know why. Because I wasn't like this before. Like, I wasn't a pick-me or someone that actually gave a shit about relationships, but it's kind of all I want. I think if I have to be this forever, maybe it won't be so bad if someone loves me. Even when I'm shaking apart at the seams.
You just have to find somebody that you know and that they know that they're not doing it for any other reason.
I thought I had.
Look, I don't know what dream husband and life you all led.
Not him, dipshit.
We didn't even get a chance to figure out if that we were that. That's not something that you can just know one day. That's a comfort and safety and trust that you build up over time. If that's what it I've never seen anything like that in our world. If it exists, it's so hidden and so secret from the rest that it can't be used against them. You think Rebecca Chase and Candide love each other? No, that shit is public and open that they entertain each other.
Oh, I thought you were just gonna stop at enter.
So, if it exists, it's not out in the open where people can see it. Because that 100% would be used against you. Do I need to show you the map again? Because there's
No.
100% things that we could do to take out people that are loved or cared for or whatever. I know all this. So why would I assume that other people aren't doing the exact same thing with me in the little web?
Well, I'd like to keep seeing you if I can.
And I will try not to call you kiddo.
Please.
Yeah. If that turns out to be something, could you let me know before you try to kill me?
I don't think I could kill you.
Before one of the coterie decides that I should not walk this earth ever again.
Why would they decide that?
Well, if it turns into something, you're really freaked out about what seems like a coincidence, and then, like, I don't know what you guys deal with every night, so let me know before I need to, like, maybe because I can leave the city, maybe I could just not die. There's a lot more dead kindred since you guys became a coterie than there had been before. Not that Hancock should have been, like, kept around, but
Yeah. Oh boy. Well, thank you for your time, and I'm sorry to interrupt your night. I'll, I'll text you.
okay. Let me know if I can help. And I'll let you know if I hear anything extra weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
And just let me know before you run away, you know?
I like New Orleans, so he stands up and kind of lets you, like, walk out of the house. And as you leave, the camera comes back to Id. As he sits down and he opens up file, new project, and a new map area is lit up. And the one square in the middle double taps it, types in the word Operation : Kiddo. And he just draws one line, Meg. One
Gem.
line. Sorry, Gem. One line, Ego. One line, Vegas.
Look for everybody in the greater New Orleans area that uses the phrase kiddo, and they'll be dead by daylight.
So, what does Liz want to do?
Ugh.
And if
Okay.
you don't have anything super serious or anything, that's fine too.
I got shit. I got stuff. I
Okay.
know what I want. Let's do this. Okay. First
Because
off,
hers all happened in one night, so like, who knows how long it's gonna be before fucking Jace walks up or wakes up.
first off, I get in touch with my Nosferatu contacts to find any homeless who need a job in shelter to make them work on my animal shelter.
And-
Because I have the upstairs of the shelter turned into like dorms, kinda.
Okay.
So anyone who wants to good with animals needs a job and a place to
There
stay.
is there would be a conversation about whether or not you plan on turning it. Is it just, are you asking the Nos if they want to? Or
I'm
the Nos,
asking
the homeless?
I'm asking the Nos to have a bigger collection with homeless.
Okay.
So they would know people like who's good with who do you know like
They want-
has a dog, is good with dogs, is good with animals.
They want assurances that you will not ghoul them.
I have no interest.
Okay.
Zero interest.
You have no
in
interest
them.
in them now, or you have no interest in ghouling them?
I have no interest in ghouling them.
Okay. So, because that is a, whether or not it is going to be, everything is supposed to be human,
Mm-hmm.
or are they going to be confronted with the awareness of the masquerade?
They are simply going to be taking care of animals.
Okay. They put you in touch with their job network, essentially.
Perfect.
Their employment search or employment company that is ran by a Nos and Ventru Ghoul.
Love that.
To where there's definitely some money involved there, but the Nos is in charge of placing people, and you're in charge of paying the employment center.
Perfect.
Okay.
So I'll get a good handful of people to start get that up and running.
Okay.
Because I did like 80% of the funds did go to an animal shelter. She did build one.
So it's gonna
Well,
be
that's 80% less you're going to have to apologize for, but that 20% is still real fucking big.
It's fair.
Yeah,
We'll
that was a lot of
that.
money. You can spend 1 dot in resources.
Okay.
Just basically, it wouldn't be spending one. It would be you don't have access to that 1 dot in resources monthly, because that
Okay.
1 dot would be used to pay for
Cool.
insurance and
I got you.
room and board, essentially. What else did you want to do?
I have become the absolute prettiest little house pet for Rebecca Chase.
Okay.
Because I simply, not in that way, but kind of in that way. I literally just want to learn from her. I want to learn that like leadership and type of like influence that she has.
Okay.
Because Liz is. Sorry, I got to mute this chat real quick. Liz has always been a presence in an intimidating manner,
Mm-hmm.
but not a presence in a respect manner. And she wants to be more that.
So
It's
you want to
pretty
be looked at with fear and respect from not just the thought of you breaking in their door in their face, but more along the
Yes.
lines of like, I could also ruin you politically, socially, and financially.
Yes.
Okay.
So
Okay.
she starts doing that. I also want to make sure people have seen me with her.
Okay.
Like,
Well, that
really just one person. Really just like, because I know one person, suddenly everyone's going to know. That's just how this works in
Okay.
New Orleans. Like, I leave when Candide shows up, or she leaves and I'm walking up the door. That.
okay. Give me another business venture that you would like in New Orleans besides your greenhouse / animal refuge
Ooh. Ooh.
that you think would be instead of the hippie animal lover, of course you do an
Yeah.
animal refuge.
Yeah.
Something more in like Rebecca Chase's wheelhouse.
Um. I was gonna say this. Hold on. I have a good idea. It's coming. Hold on. Give me 2 seconds. Uh, reusable fashion, but like,
Reusable fashion?
yeah.
So like
Making
a
things out of
like a
other things.
secondhand fashion.
Not secondhand. Like
It's
it's
rent a
bougie.
swag. It's
Rent a
rent a
swag.
swag from
Oh my
from
God.
Parks and Rec. And it's brilliant.
No, no more. It is. Yeah, it's like grunge fashion, but it's made out of like other like throwaway clothes. It's like recycled clothes turning into new clothes that I can sell at a higher
It's
price. Because
derelict.
Yeah. Okay. Trash fashion.
Yeah.
Sustainable punk fashion.
I
That's
got
actually
you.
a good
I got
idea.
you.
Yeah.
Okay. She's gonna set you up with a place. She's gonna set you up with the right people. She's going to set you up with local designers. Those actually come from the Toreador network. Not ghouls, but she buys information from the Toreadors,
Nice.
essentially. For designers that are in this wheelhouse. She also gets you like this kind of restored, but looks like an abandoned warehouse. Like it's all exposed brick, but nice. There's exposed pipes, but nice. Like it's
Uh-huh.
abandoned warehouse chic. It's done on
Yeah.
purpose. It's very industrial. From the lighting to what types of
I
lights.
said grunge fashion, and Rebecca Chase went, okay, but like.
Like we're gonna have to make it a whole aesthetic.
Yeah.
And you will get that $1 resource back because the money you're going to make from this, and it does let you into, funny enough, some of the different echelons of prestige in New Orleans that the Toreador, the very very pretty frou-frou Toreador, and the classy Ventru don't have access to. This weird like well-off middle class of New Orleans.
Okay.
The local brew houses, or local breweries, the local tap houses, the grungy kind of art scene. You now have those kind of contacts where they may have a Fortune 500 company. Like, yeah, and this guy over here that designed a couch to look like a dumpster makes more money than you.
Yeah.
That kind of weird.
And I have that couch in my living room. It's great.
But Lou loved that shit. But yeah, it's kind of one of those like they have different echelons than you do now, and it's you're gaining respect for accessing in areas that they couldn't access before, or that they didn't realize because of their own bias, like how profitable it could have been to get all of it, and just kind of went for like the more classic routes of wealth.
Wonderful. Very exciting.
So lose a dot, gain a dot. Fair enough.
I evened out. Straight
Yeah.
score. Let's go. Next order of business.
Take a dot in research. Take a dot in.
Hold on. New things. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, what is it?
In research?
Yeah, you're gonna get it. Sorry, investigation, not research.
Thank you.
And leadership. You can also add a specialty now for your research or investigation into following like the money, the finances, financial investigation.
Cool. All right.
So if you ever need to find somebody that needs to pay who's paying who, you're the person that they would go to.
Not what I expected as this outcome, but I'm very excited about it. Okay. Next order of business is I start now that I have some connections, like grungy scenes, local artists, things like that, I start paying street artists to start I pay them under the table, no receipts, no nothing. Most probably I send Jason to pay them. No one knows me. But I wanted them to start spraying the sign of Lilith around the city.
Oh, okay.
Subtly, not like everywhere,
So you're
but
gonna
like
have
one
Jason.
here, one
Yeah.
here. Yeah.
You're gonna have Jason pay off. Okay.
It's my money, but I give it to Jason to do it. I
Yeah.
don't want
Yeah.
anyone
Yeah.
to see
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. You don't want to be involved in it.
No, Jason's a big face.
just
I
your
give it to
ghoul.
Venti. I give it to Venti. To a little barista. Let
Okay.
her do that.
I was like, Jason is the bodyguard to the state's.
Yeah,
Like,
I thought about
governor,
it, hated
senator,
it.
whatever
New
we decide.
plan. Venti.
I was like, yeah, you didn't do it. Just your very high-profile ghoul did it. Yeah, they'll never tie that to you.
No,
But
the
no,
other one.
Venti's a safer option. Is there a time frame, or is it just like, hey, please, when you're doing this, here's a vestor kind of wants their symbol.
Yeah, it's just sporadically.
Okay.
There's always been a build it and they will come type mentality with her religion.
Yeah.
But I'm not a fan of letting the fates take its toll. I put fate in my own hands, so I'm calling it.
Okay. So, Venti reports back that with the amount of money that you put in, she doesn't know like who's gonna do it.
Yeah.
But some of the art houses have been told like we're trying to build something coming to New Orleans. So we're trying to get more venues and like maybe we build some mystery around really well done artwork. Of, like, what does this symbol mean?
Yeah.
The first time you hear about it actually being done, Venti goes, did you see in the news today?
What?
And she pulls up on her phone and it's a mural of the symbol of Lilith, very prominently displayed.
I'm gonna get a meeting about this. This is gonna be an email.
It's done in such a way. Now, are you talking about the crescent moon with the cross, or are you talking about the Solomonic like sigil of Lilith?
The crescent moon with the cross.
Okay.
Because that's the one on my rosary, so I want to do that one.
There you go. You get. It's prominently displayed for you because you know what to look for. But it is kind of camouflaged in the mural. Maybe the artist is giving you what you want, but not having to take away from their work.
Yeah.
But it is a news article. Mural shows up overnight. Mystery artist not identified. But it's done in like a. It's done in a way that like we don't know who did it, but this is really fucking cool, and it was on like an abandoned warehouse downtown. So it's like beautifying the neighborhood kind of deal.
I love this.
Banksy, yeah, there you go. That's a good
Banksy is
similar
the
vibe. Yeah.
closest. Yes.
This is like in Men in Black 3 when you find out Andy Warhol was an agent the entire time. It's just Banksy was a vampire the entire time. And he's just vampire messenger. That's why no one ever sees him work and doesn't know who he is. He's real good at it.
Celerity's a bitch. You can't see nothing.
Painting by celerity. Like.
Yep. Is there anything else you wanted to tackle?
Just one more thing, if I can. I know
Yeah,
we're kind of getting so close to the end, and we still have poor Pixie has to go.
You're fine. I'm good.
I think that night that Jim has these conversations, if she walks home, Liz is sitting on her front step.
Okay.
Sorry,
It's awareness to see if you see a cat. No, I'm just fine.
No, it's just me. I'm not a cat. It's just me.
Hi.
Hey.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Am I okay?
Are you?
Are you here to kill me?
No.
Okay.
Roll for death saves. What? Same game.
Stab. No, I don't. Should I? What did you do? Was it a boy?
It was 3.
Oh, darling. Oh no. Okay. I
a
can't open the
busy
door to
night
your
for Jem.
house.
Busy night for Jem.
I just opened the door. It pulled an emotional trait on me, and I wasn't prepared.
The 3 guys gave it to me the exact same way.
They gave it to me all night. I wasn't lubed up, and now I'm crying.
Okay. Okay. Let's get her inside. And I close and lock her own door. Like, okay, honey, let's go. This is the second time we've broken down in your foray. Let's go.
Yeah. Can I get you anything?
No, I'm great.
Okay,
You
good.
look like you've been through hell.
It's just a weird night.
That's fair.
But what's up? Sorry.
I made you something.
Aww.
And she pulls out. She has one of her bags. She pulls out. It's a jean jacket that has patches of different music that she has mentioned to Liz on it, like sewn into it. And then, but like the ends are like tasseled, like sparkles. I thought you would love it. So
God, this is amazing!
yeah,
She just hugs you.
Hugs you.
Ah!
A little sewn-in handmade tag on the back says "The Warehouse."
The warehouse.
Look at it! Look at it! Look at me at it! This is wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah, it's one of a kind. It's all yours.
Aww. Okay, so now what do I owe you?
Nothing.
Isn't that how this all works, though? We give each other things, and then we owe each other favors, and it goes on and on like that forever. There's no such thing as sincerity or friendship or care.
You have had a night, huh?
Yep.
Do you want to talk about it?
Say it.
I feel very small.
Is Liz compelled to say welcome
Say
to the
it,
world,
Liz.
kiddo?
You
Roll
want to say
willpower,
what-
please.
if you want to say it,
No,
You say
not
it. If you don't
in
want
a
to say it, you
second,
don't have to say
maybe.
it.
I feel very small.
Sorry. I get that.
Gives you a really big hug.
Okay. Alright, we're really hugging tonight. That's okay. That's fine.
Oh, sorry. I don't have to. I just...
No, I like hugs. It's fine.
I don't... Well, I don't really know that Ed and I are together anymore. That was a little murky.
Uh-huh.
And I went to go see Vegas, and he gave me
I'm sorry.
homework. And then I went to go
I'm
see
sorry
Ego, and that did not go well. And then I went to go see Id, and it was just... I don't know. I don't know how to anything anymore. I used to people so good. I don't people good anymore.
Well, in your court, for all that's worth, we're not people anymore. So you have to learn how to kindred now,
But
which is shitty.
we kind of are.
Kind of.
Maybe that's why I can only kind of people.
That would explain some stuff. I get it. I'm really good with animals. People, eh.
I'm good with people. I'm not good with us. And I'm not good at being a hound. Honestly, I shouldn't be one. I just suck at it. Like
Okay, then quit.
I'm not. I don't know that I can.
I will text Victor right now and say you're no longer a hound.
Yeah, but I also can't stop being the Prince's Kinder.
That you can't escape unless you leave the city.
Or
Or
that keeps getting talked about by a lot of people. Like every time I see someone now, They make these little comments about how dad shouldn't be. But he is, and they're just gonna wait. And I'm scared. I'm scared for him. I don't want him to die. And I don't want to be treasonous or whatever. And I don't want to see what would happen in New Orleans if he was gone and someone else tried to take over. I can't think of anybody else I want in charge. But I'm mad at how much I agree with them. It feels so awful to say.
We're allowed to say awful things.
That's the thing we're not allowed to say. This should have been Siren. She would have known what to do. She would have handled this so well. I mean, she would have hated it, every fucking second of it.
Mm-hmm.
But she'd be so good at it. And she wouldn't just burst into people's mausoleums and sit in their overstuffed kid zone chairs and threaten them and not even well. I think that's the worst part.
No one's you. Being you's not a bad thing.
I know, I like me most of the
I
time.
like you too.
Aww. I'm just getting out of 2 relationships. I don't know that I can really get into
I just
cahoots
got
with
out
someone.
of one too, and it's been not great.
I'm sorry you can't talk about it. Do you want to?
Talk about what?
Duncan?
It wasn't anything bad. It was just I took on a lot of responsibility a lot at once. I saw him an hour a week. We couldn't celebrate our anniversary because everything kept going wrong.
Yeah, that's our fault.
It wasn't. We weren't mad at each other. It was just didn't work. Sometimes things just don't work. And that's okay. You just make room for what's next.
So what's next for you? Is it Rebecca?
She's a really good teacher.
Oh, I bet she is.
When I fuck Rebecca Chase, I promise you will be the first one to know.
Not
Thank
yet.
you. When? It'll be on speakerphone.
I will call you. I will be like, thank you so much. Oh my god, Jim. Roll over, immediately call you. No, I don't know. That's not true. I know where I'm going. I just don't know how I'm really getting there yet.
Good.
Yeah.
What I'm doing.
You don't
And
got it.
I'm worried that the one, like, good relationship I had is, I don't know, locked up in a basement somewhere
What?
or something. I don't think we have basements. No,
What
we
do
can't
you-
have basements because of the water bed.
What do you mean?
So, when I wrote the letter, you have to promise me you won't get mad. And you're in my house, so you can't hurt me.
I cannot promise I will not get mad, but I promise I will do my best to understand.
So when you guys have me write the letter to Jimmy,
Mm-hmm.
I maybe wrote him something saying, hey, I'm still in town, don't go. And I didn't think that he took it. I didn't think he took the bait because I didn't hear from him, and you know that all just sort of like went away. And I
I
tried to.
followed you the night you saw him.
I tried to find him.
Mhm.
And all I could feel was pain and
Oh.
dark. But he was tied up and singing our song.
What would you do? You found him.
That's immaterial. I'm not allowed near him. It would kill me. And he told me that I'm not supposed to touch him because I could get hurt.
Cooties,
And I don't want to
yeah.
get hurt. What?
Price cooties. Yeah.
Christ
Christ,
goodies.
cutie.
It's a real thing, everybody. It's a real thing.
Dear Kindred, don't try to fuck the Second Inquisition. Thank you so much for coming to my
You
TED
wanna
Talk.
fuck the priest? Oh, fuck God.
Dear Kindred, don't
Can
try.
you fuck God?
Exceed.
No, but if you found him, I don't care. No, I don't care what anyone else has said. I don't care what I've said. If you found him, what would you do?
I don't know. I don't let myself think of that.
Okay.
I lived in a dream for 15 years and it was perfect and wonderful, and I can't. When I go to sleep now, you know, the last thing I think about is Ed. And he's grumpy. And he's cold. And it's like lying on a stone slab.
You're really selling him, babe.
Those are all things that I like. I hate how much I like him. I hate how good I feel when I'm around him. And he doesn't love me. And he's never going to. No one is. I'm going to be this forever.
Why do you think no one's going to love you?
Because we can't love. Because we don't love.
Who said we don't love?
Everybody just throws the fucking book. It's all manipulation and...
Do you think we live this long without love?
I don't know. But I know that if he did, he... Maybe Vegas is right, and I don't love him, I just love the idea of him.
Been there.
And that's not fair to him. Because he's grumpy. And he smells like trash. But he's really smart. He's
Yeah.
really smart. Like,
Yes.
scarily smart. You should talk to him more.
I should.
I'm not throwing you at him, by the way. And please don't fuck him.
No, his brother's more my speed anyway, so.
Oh, okay, so hey, let's talk about that. He is currently single,
Interesting.
and I think he could mingle. But I can't
Alright,
stress
you
this
give
enough.
him my number.
Well, I don't know that he would let me. I kind of screwed that up. Not, you know, but like, I don't think he's ever gonna talk to me again. Although forever is a very long time.
Forever is a very long time. Take it
Tonight
from
has
someone
felt
who
like
has been
Yeah.
alive for a really long time.
Do you know anybody that uses the phrase kiddo on the regular?
Men with too much time on their hands. Or too much money. Both.
Simultaneously burned
Oh.
3 people at once right there. Well done.
Yeah, I feel like I should just text him and be like, "Hey, bros, you okay?"
Liz has
Did any
burned
of you
all
just? Did any of you just combust.
Hammy, go check on Vegas. I don't think he's alive.
There's a
Burns
bird.
can be a lot harder for vampires, okay? They will
Yeah.
just, like, it's a bigger issue.
And then he spontaneous combusted. I don't know what happened with that. I don't know anything about that.
Word. Just kindred shit. I'll
I've
be
never
better.
been called kiddo by someone I liked. I'll give you that one.
I've never been called kiddo, period, and I got called it 3 times.
Gross. I'm sorry.
I'm okay. I'm gonna be okay. And I'm sorry I'm whiny.
are.
I'm sorry I care about this. I gotta find something else to like hyperfixate on.
I just opened a clothing store. You can come vibe there if you want.
No,
Help
I've
me
still
make
got the
things.
bar.
The bar feel it's fair.
Yeah, I should start doing little models of boats in bottles.
I think that'd be a great use of your time.
That would be an excellent use of my time. Ooh.
Said every ship captain in the 1500s. It's a great use of my time.
That's a great use of me time.
I have to head out for the sunrises.
Okay.
Okay, so
Hugs.
But
Siren. No, go ahead. I think you're telling me.
yeah. She goes. She leaves. And the next day when you sorry.
Before I go to bed, I text Siren, "Hey, I love you. That's all. Good night."
Next day, when you wake up, there's a package on your door. Amazon. Woo, love that. And it's a ship in a bottle set. With a note on it that says "Love you, kiddo" with a sticky tongue out emoji.
Dun dun
That was
dun.
a joke.
It just says, "Welcome to the world, kiddo."
What the
Welcome to
fuck?
the
Oh, is it the
world.
Lego?
No, it's
Is it the
welcome to the
Lego ship in a
world
bottle?
of ship in a bottle, kiddo.
I want to point out, send Siren that wonderful text. Jace can fuck off. Sends him nothing.
The
Okay,
kiddo part was a joke. We didn't say "love ya."
Siren. What is your direction?
They all did their shit in like one fucking night. I was planning weeks to months worth of
Yeah.
shit for her, so
My
y'all.
stuff was
Well,
months. Like all that
okay.
stuff took time.
Yeah, I mean
Great,
everybody had their speed ahead.
fan-fucking-tastic.
Jem was the only one who was like, I got shit going on. We're doing this shit tonight.
And now, by the time we go into her office next, it's just filled with bottle ship models. Fucking filled. She gets hyper into those specialized Lego sets that
She
are
starts
like.
she starts wearing like Hemingway jackets.
Oh my
and
god,
a, and
yes.
a cap.
Oh my god, yes. She gets really
She
into
has a-
whiskey-based
She has a
beverages.
bubble pipe.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So what does Siren want to do?
Also, Meg, you put them in by building them with tweezers within the bottle.
No, I know that.
Okay, I
I'm
was
just
like,
saying,
literally,
I'm-
you like,
like,
yeah.
This
Okay.
is gonna be Megan's new hyper focus.
Oh,
Is
okay, have
figuring
fun.
out terminology and shit.
Amazing. Siren essentially goes radio silent. After her trauma night of tragedy, and knowing Vegas, he probably didn't ever actually fucking ask, and therefore she didn't actually fucking say anything. She, because that's healthy. She,
Hold on, ask what?
because she was
Was the-
just fucking sobbing while she sang for like the whole
Yeah.
night, and yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
And everyone sent him to her, and like was like, she needs a lot of comfort, and he just sat there. So she being compelled to acknowledge what is wrong meant admitting it to herself for the first time since she was turned, so she's not okay. She spends her time while originally her plan for Corey was ignore him until he comes to me. She has switched tactics now in her depression spiral. And she has begun putting on events as Charlotte. She invites him to all of them in case he would like to show, but essentially for the funding of his campaigns and projects that he's passionate in or projects that she's passionate in, whatever. She is just slipping into that persona regularly. And just all around town, just fucking throwing these goddamn events. for whatever cause. And that's how she spends most of her time. However, on the side, she also would like to take her time to carefully seek out and ghoul 2 specific professions of people.
Okay.
She would like to ghoul a sound engineer. And she'd like to
Easy
ghoul a
enough.
hacker.
Okay. Roll me a intelligence investigation.
Mm-hmm.
The sound guy, not an issue.
Yeah, no, that's not gonna be a problem at all. She probably, yeah.
Every wannabe DJ in New Orleans can do the sound equipment like that you need to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. The hacker though, not really on billboards.
No.
So
3 successes.
okay. There are some guys from the VFW who have a computer vulnerability background.
She will not go to the VFW again since the Second Inquisition started recruiting from there.
Okay.
So she'll take longer to find, or she will quietly requisition Addie's help as a PI to try and help her find.
Addie will knock down your difficulty on that.
Excellent.
Addie can find the people you need to find.
Excellent.
And within like the week, you have a decently skilled. Now, what are you going after?
She's
'Cause
looking for
Addie would
someone who
ask you-
specializes in radio frequencies.
Oh. Yeah. Addie would tell you the best people would be
Yep.
the veterans. If you're outside of the veterans, you're looking for somebody who worked in like the radio industry as their tech guy, and to hack into something else would be no. Just lay it out for me, and I'll tell you. Because
Radio industry is fine.
no, I'm sorry. Because what kind of the radio industry may not have the ability to hack into other radio frequencies. So tell me.
Well, I
what
spent
kind-
this
what are you
entire
trying to-
3 hours while I was not in scenes actually looking that up, and it's really, really not
Yeah.
hard. When you can hack into one radio frequency, you can get into literally all of them, and Wi-Fi.
What I'm trying to figure.
So like, they'll have the tech.
I'm trying to figure out. Okay.
Yeah.
What do you set them out to do?
Oh no, I just Googled them. I just have them on standby.
Oh,
They just
So-
exist.
you have a radio operator
Great, and a sound engineer.
and a sound engineer.
Thank you so much. So yeah, it's because most people specialize in like information, but radio signals are actually much more. The problem is they are more of what used to be hacked, and especially with they can open like garage doors and car doors and all these things that work on radio frequencies. But that's not where people store their information. So it's become like a lost, but like it's still a thing that can. A lot of things can be accessed, like with that shit apparently. So that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that
And
it?
That I mean, yeah, that's her. She's throwing events and bringing 2 people on board and then just going about her life. Like I said, she's just kind of radio silent. She will spend any off time just playing alone in her room, and that's what she's got going on.
Is Charlotte trying to get money out of this
Yes, that's what those fundraising events are for.
for her specifically?
No, she's trying to get it for other causes.
So your motivation was not set out to make money, but it does take money to make this stuff happen, and you do get compensated pretty fairly. You can have a dot in resources, but
Hey.
you suffer no negative effects for doing it for any other reason other than just being out and about as Charlotte. Jace, when you look down at your phone after everything, it's been a week. It's been a week. Now, other other members took a little bit longer. You know, it definitely took more than a week to get set up with the warehouse and stuff like that. But whether or not Jace immediately texts the coterie or not, it's been a week of no contact from the coterie, and you regain consciousness to the fact that one, your amulet worked. You don't know what caused the beast to take over, but you're glad that, well, it was at least Oscar and not the city.
Yeah.
You're left with that thought and the fact that you don't know what is scribbled and drawn and carved and painted all over your walls.
Yeah, there was a split second where Jace realized what happened, that he began to try and rub away whatever was next to him. And then I think he tried to regain some sense of composure. And is going to tiptoe out of the bedroom
Through the door.
into the living room. And he's gonna gently close his bedroom door and just sequester it off like a crime scene.
Well, like I said, it wasn't just your bedroom.
Oh.
It was your entire apartment.
Oh.
And when you
Okay.
go to look for the girls, you see that their footprints are here, but their bodies aren't. So they're probably okay, but holy
Yeah.
fuck, what happened?
Okay.
Um,
Gotcha. The only other thing that he will be checking before we can end for the night is does he have any recent text messages?
You get some from about a week ago, from Sarah and Samantha. Saying if you're okay, you need anything from us.
Did I answer?
You did not.
Okay, that's good at least. Okay.
But it looks, you get the impression that they didn't hear from you, came over,
So they came
saw why they couldn't hear from you, and it was just
something
like,
happened. Yeah.
cool, okay, I'm gonna leave.
Valid. Okay, yeah, I mean Jace is gonna it probably took a couple of weeks before he felt ready to try testing out the amulet.
When you leave your apartment,
He's not leaving for another couple of weeks.
You're not leaving your own domicile? Like you're not, okay.
No. Because there's part of him is worried that if he leaves, somebody else will find it and he will get in trouble. Part of him is worried that if he leaves, he will come back and it will all be gone, and this will be him going crazy. And part of him is like, I have too much information here to even begin to leave because I have to sift through it.
Fair enough.
So he's gonna take like a couple of days to just sit, and then he's gonna begin taking notes on the viscera that is spread around that he can.
Not only is it painted and etched on the wall, and you realize that at some point you used parts of his skeleton to carve, but you also then carved into his bones, and
the first note that Jace writes is just the first note that he writes is burn down apartment ? Scratched out. Leave New Orleans? Scratched out. And then he begins taking the notes. Apologies.
You get a sense that it is unlocking, opening, expanding, reaching, amplifying, tracking, seeking. Everything seems like different parts of different spells that all kind of have that reaching feeling.
is there any indication of the abyss in the spells?
There are some runes that you've never seen or experienced that don't look like old alchemical runes. They don't look like Norse runes. They don't look like any foreign, like ancient writings. They're not, nothing of the non-romantic languages currently. There are some shapes and symbols here that you are not familiar with.
Those get their own notebook.
Okay.
Mhm.
Nope, you never found out what he was doing with that,
We never.
that corpse. So, that is where we're going to leave off tonight. Nice little time skip. I love that. I'm like, yeah, we'll just keep going with whatever you guys want to do until you
Yeah.
find something you want to investigate.
We
And
will
everyone's like, plot now.
accidentally trip over plot the moment we walk out the door every fucking time, Sway. We have tried to do no plot, and then we immediately stumble into the hard rock. Like, it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
We're the
Yeah.
most cursed vampires.
It's like, no, let's do a non-plot night. Pull the threads. Pull
All
the
of them.
thread.
Yeah.
Just real quick before we end, I just want so you have in your brain, I do send it a text, and it's.
Okay.
I think we should talk about how much I love disobeying direct orders.
Okay.
And that's the text. We don't have to. That can be it for right now, but I just want you to know that text was sent.
Fair enough. Fair enough. We will talk about what happens with that text message and more next week on Rep RPG's Blood in the Bayou, our Vampire the 5th edition Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition live play set in New Orleans called Blood in the Bayou.
There you go.
Thank you to all of our raiders tonight. Thank you for all the resubs we got from you guys. If you're watching us on Twitch live right now, feel free to go check out the YouTubes where we have everything from season 1 up to now of not only Blood in the Bayou, but the variety of shows that you can watch here on Rep RPG. Remember to check out our socials and our links and join our Discord for everything from stickers to D&D dice to vampire dice to dice to fit whatever TTRPG you're playing at home. And if you're not playing anything at home, you just like shiny clicky clacky math rocks, don't put them in your mouth, but you can buy them from us. So with that, we will leave you guys until next week. Remember to stay safe and watch out for the kindred at night.